What's up, everyone? This is Goldilocks, former TNA backstage interviewer, manager, and you're listening to TNA Cross the Line podcast. Thanks for being here.
TNA Wrestling, Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 37 of the TNA Cross the Line podcast. I am Bob Colling Jr. and he's Dallas Gridley. Dallas, we have no idea what's going on this week. Last week's show ended with a double pin that we had seen in the tag team division between Raven and AJ Styles. Who's the number one contender for Jeff Jarrett's belt? We don't know. D'Lo Brown made his triumphant debut, asking us if we're down with the Brown. Are you down? Are you down with the Brown?
I don't know if I am yet. So I'm gonna play it by ear.
Okay.
And I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks I will be down with the Brown, and I'll be excited. And I think I mentioned it last week. I'm not the biggest D'Lo fan. However, I do think he's really great on Impact Wrestling's commentary here in 2021. But I'm hoping that seeing him in the Asylum will inspire me to want to go watch some Sunday Night Heat matches.
Well, I was just going to say the constant additions of Sunday Night Heat regulars is really making TNA feel like I'm watching Sunday Night Heat from 2002, 2003. So hopefully in the coming months, we'll get Tommy Dreamer and Justin Credible and who else was it? 2000 around this time? Steven Richards would be nice. I think that might be really it. They're like always on. Goldust, I guess, probably was on there a lot too. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the spring and summer of 2002 for my Sunday Night Heat viewing. I'm not in the late fall, early 2003 quite yet.
Soon enough, we'll figure it out.
I'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Last week's show, I think it was pretty average for us, if I'm remembering correctly. And, it wasn't a bad show, but I don't think nothing was mind-blowing. And I don't know how you could forget, but Hacksaw Jim Duggan made his debut last week, which was interesting when he fought Mike Sanders in a match that apparently went 5 minutes and 58 seconds, which was 5 minutes and 58 seconds too long.
Yeah, no kidding. I was trying to forget about that.
Yeah, and now I think the biggest thing, obviously besides like D'Lo's debut and stuff, we finally have tag team champions again when Triple X, it was Daniels and Low-Key, defeated America's Most Wanted to essentially get back the titles that they didn't actually lose. So like that was pretty big. And
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad that they're the champions instead of America's Most Wanted. The money's always in the faces chasing anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I'm interested to see, as obviously Sports Entertainment Extreme was still around last week, but I think we're slowly fading that away, and I'm curious where I'm hoping Triple X is still able to break away from the whole fact that their name is Triple X because they were in sex, and I hoping that that's not going to cause any issues for them as they break away. Luckily, they're all really great wrestlers, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, and then we also got the tag match between the Harris Brothers and Carino and Sandman, where Carino was pinned in under 40 seconds.
Yeah, I wasn't. And then you said, well, that's his last TNA match. And I was like, wow, that is not great.
Yeah, I think at this point, Carino was obviously very loyal to 0-1, or Japan really in general. And he was also extremely loyal to MLW.
Oh, wow.
And there's not a lot, but I guess there's a couple of interviews out there where he kind of would say that he could see MLW being an alternative to TNA and WWE and even really be a competitor to TNA.
Wow.
Which is kind of interesting because for the most part, they use a lot of TNA wrestlers through their existence.
Well, yeah, you can compete with the company that you use all their talent from. Why not?
Yeah, well, that's what Ring of Honor does.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, essentially.
So
and now we also can't forget, Kid Kash defeated Johnny Storm in Amazing Red to retain the X Division title, but there was a lot of like Trinity Amazing Red kind of stuff going on, teasing the fact that Red was acting kind of heelish last week.
yeah, it was weird.
And yeah, it was a very weird situation, and I'm really, really interested to see where that goes. Are we going to see Trinity and Amazing Red have a match? I mean, I'm sure it could be very good. She's obviously talented, and so is he. So that would be kind of interesting to see a match like that. I don't see why not.
I wouldn't be opposed to
that. And then the other match we had was when David Young and Jerry Lynn teamed up to defeat Mexico's Most Wanted, or Damien 666 in Halloween, which was, it was there. So, and that's obviously furthering the Konnan Jerry Lynn feud with the Lucha Libre and the X Division. And mind you, let's not forget, Jerry Lynn is apparently the number one contender for the X Division title, which we said last week is probably gone at this point. However, I'm waiting for them to reference it in like 6 weeks down the line where they're like, Jerry Lynn won the 8-man gauntlet
right
10 weeks ago.
Well, there's going to be a dramatic video package like before the match, and it'll be like 7 weeks ago. Jerry Lynn won the number one contendership. We didn't forget. Here's the match.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as you said in the beginning, we literally, I don't think, know a single match that's on the card tonight. And I don't know, there might be like some teases in the observer notes here that I got, but it's not mentioned that I don't think that anything.
Well, there was also like interaction with D'Lo, Dusty, and Jarrett with the new kids on the block.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Lawler, Flair, and Watts.
Yeah, which
could potentially be a 6-man. We don't know.
Well, yeah, why not? And then also, I mean, I would assume D'Lo is going to make his in-ring debut this week, although it did take Raven a couple weeks, so who knows?
Yeah, it did.
And how could we forget? I'll just mention this quick, and then we pretty much covered all last week, but I do have some notes on this. Lollipop was exposed last week.
All right.
In a awful segment, but nonetheless did not expect Lollipop with her new assets that we just heard. She just got done up. Literally, her shirt was just ripped off by Hollywood, and Disco Inferno's in the ring, and they literally did this segment for literally no reason. But it happened, and there it was. Did not expect that. We've been seeing a lot of, I guess we could call it R-rated content in the TNA Asylum recently.
Yeah. I mean, it even dates back to April having her breasts covered in shaving cream for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think that was late 2002, though.
Well, yeah. So we've been seeing this kind of stuff for a while, and then of course,
and then
that
the
one girl,
with her thong, or was that Lollipop? That was probably Lollipop.
Oh, the one who when she was dancing.
Yeah, for like the Australia show, when they're like, "Oh,
yes,
Australia," and they're like, "Oh, by the way, here's my flag, the flag on my butt cheeks."
Yeah, and she pulled her shorts up.
Yeah.
They're barely shorts, but that, and then there's the one girl who it was hard to tell if she fully exposed herself to Jonah to cost him the match against Mike Sanders, but that happened as well.
If she did, I don't think she has nipples.
It's hard to tell. Our feed is it's not crystal clear, so it is hard to tell. But that was hard to tell if she fully did it or not. I'm going to say she didn't, but who knows?
Yeah, I think she just kind of pushed her breasts together.
That's what I think.
And pulled her shirt down a little bit.
Yep, that's kind of what I think as well. So yeah, we've been seeing stuff like this for a while. You can even, if you want to say, Desire trying to rip off Athena's pants, which is, I mean, that was trying to get to that level, even though you could tell it was a very uncomfortable situation. So we've been testing the waters on this stuff, and we'll dive more into that into the notes, because we have mentioned stuff about this before. But unless you got anything else, I think without further ado, are you ready to get into it?
Yeah, I'm all set, brother.
Okay, well, I feel like I always forget, so let's just do the poll results from last week first, and then we will get into some new news, and then we'll touch on a couple things from last week, as we covered most of it. But I always like Dave's insights to things that happen on the show, at least when they either make sense or they're an interesting comment. So last week, we gave it a thumbs in the middle, really average show for us, which I feel like at this point they got to do at least something decent to get us to give it a thumbs up. And last week it just kind of fell flat, especially the ending. If the Raven and Styles finish maybe wasn't so flat, who knows? Maybe that could have switched us a little bit. I don't know. So what do you think the readers of the Observer gave this? Now, and I want everyone to know, listening, just a few weeks ago, the 2020 Observer Awards came out, and people are really heated. Now, mind you, the readers of the Observer have their own opinions, and they voted for if they liked Pay-Per-View 36. So don't get heated on what they thought about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to note that those awards are literally voted by wrestling fans. There's really nothing pristine about it. It's just people who paid for a newsletter. I mean, I could, I guess, vote for it because I, have a subscription, but it's just kind of ridiculous to put so much, credit behind it. And that too with like the PWIs when they would do like the awards. It's like Rookie of the Year. People are like, I can't believe that 35,000 people voted for this guy or whatever. They're just wrestling fans. Not a big deal. Anyway, for last week's episode. Oh man, this is really interesting. I'm gonna say they went, and this pretty much never happens. I'm gonna say they went in the middle.
Well, they actually voted thumbs up, so
Damn
they
it.
enjoyed
I was
it.
gonna say that.
Now, I would say it's fairly close. The majority went thumbs up with 48.2%, but 28.9% gave it a thumbs in the middle, and 22.9% gave it a thumbs down. So kind of closer toward the middle down area than up, but nonetheless, they did vote it up. Now, Dave does mention here that they did have a larger response than they had in a while. Of course, I stopped saying numbers because large in these TNA numbers is not that impressive. But, obviously nothing crazy. Now, he is presuming, though, that the larger response was due to them, at least on the internet, advertising most of the show ahead of time, including Dusty Rhodes, Raven and Styles as the top contenders match, the tag title, and the X Division title, and that there would be a lucha match. So they did, in fact, at least announce this is sort of what you're going to expect on the show, at least a little bit. And so I think that's really important to note. And of course, we're not getting that information watching these, so we just assume, unless it's mentioned in this newsletter, or on the show, that it wasn't announced. Now, if you remember, this is weeks back. We haven't covered Brian Alvarez's stuff in a while because it just isn't in the newsletter archive where I'm looking anymore. He covered a lot of the Borash report, or whatever he called it. I can't remember. The Rash report. That's what it was.
Right.
And he did cover that Jeremy Borash would kind of tease stuff, but generally Dave would mention this stuff. So we just have to assume that nothing was announced. But it was good to know that last week, at least some was, and that made people interested in the show. I mean, I think that's important to note there. Now, as far as the best match on the card, which match do you think that was? We covered pretty much all of those already, so.
I'm gonna say they went with the tag title match.
They did. Yes, 59 people voted that was their favorite. Now in second place though was Kid Kash, Amazing Red, and Johnny Storm with the X Division title, which it wasn't bad, but it was kind of all over the place. It was a fun match though. I mean, you could tell like Storm was a little. What's the word I'm looking for here? I want to say choppy, but he had like cool spots, but he wasn't smooth with it.
I agree. I'm kind of surprised that they went with that one. Yeah. I thought maybe they would go with Raven Styles.
Yeah, I agree with that. And what do you think was the worst match? I think that one's kind of more obvious, but.
Well, it's really up to two, right? It's probably the Carino, Sandman, Harris Brothers, or
that's true. Yeah.
Or Sanders and Duggan. But I'm gonna assume it's Sanders and Duggan. It
is Sanders and Duggan, and that the Carino, Sandman, and the Harris Brothers was in second place, which actually makes sense. I didn't think about that right then, but yeah. It was not. I wouldn't say it was split, but most people voted Duggan and Sanders, of course. There. Okay. So that's our poll results. So let me get into some new stuff that I thought was pretty interesting.
Well, Dallas, I want to just mention something here.
Yeah.
I went to. I don't know what is going on here. Okay, so I went on to the Wayback Machine.
Oh,
to the NWA TNA website.
I've been waiting to tell you about this because I actually figured this out a couple weeks ago and I haven't done a full deep dive in it.
Okay. So what's really cool about this is like, I went to, where am I at here? Oh, shoot. That just vanished on me. Let me go back here. All right. So I'm at, well, this show is what, the 19th, right?
Yeah, we were watching March 19th, 2003.
Okay. So on the Wayback Machine, you can go to March 20th, 2003. But let me go to maybe a little bit further ahead just to see like what I can see for news. Because for the news, which I would assume is where they're also promoting the shows, right?
I would assume that's pretty fair, yeah.
I would have to think they would be. Well, anyway, judging by their news section here, they don't really promote stuff. So, like, they promoted the Juice is Back on March 2nd. And then their next news, I guess, to promote anything is on March 27th. And it seems as if they're using a lot of this for, like Hermie Sadler stuff.
That's pretty interesting. And now I wonder, to be fair, the Wayback Machine, it could be missing some information, but I do think that this is also probably pretty accurate in the regards of, well, you might not know. And you know what? It could even be, if you go into that column section, it could even be something in here, because I believe that Bob Ryder has a column, as does like Jeremy Borash here. So it depends. Now it skips, if you see notes from backstage. Bob Ryder checks in from backstage at the TNA Asylum.
I just went to that. So let me go. We're doing this live on the air, folks. Checking it out. First time ever.
I mean, this
is a cool little invention, I'll tell you.
Oh, it's super cool. And like I said, I haven't done a super deep dive on this yet, but man, do I think this is super cool. And definitely. Well, here we go. Because we're watching. Well, we can't click that. That'll be a spoiler.
I was gonna say, I just clicked the wrong button. Maybe some of this. So like I went to March 20th, but so it reverted to April 2nd.
Okay, well, I just clicked on, I believe, I don't even want to go back. I think I'm gonna mess it up. It's talking about last week's show. According to our regard. So it's the Jesus Christ, the 12th, March 12th show. And I believe this was a Bob Ryder article who says he would rank our show last Wednesday as my second favorite show in history. There wasn't a bad segment on the show. Everything clicked, and I've never felt better about the effort put forth by our roster. It was a definite home run. And he literally goes through the Styles and Raven match, ended in a double pin with neither man getting the win. This sets up for an interesting scenario for this Wednesday night. And even talking about Chris Devine having an incredible match on Explosion with Sonny Siaki, which we of course mentioned Explosion stuff. So very interesting. And he says, "Oh, look at this! We have an announcement. Let's make the announcement live on the air here."
Okay.
According to, I believe, like I said, I think this is Bob Ryder. This Wednesday night, D'Lo Brown will join Jeff Jarrett and Dusty Rhodes in a 6-man tag team match against NWA's Next Generation, or Watts, Flair, and Lawler. So now he just took one of my news articles that Dave mentions, is that team is now known as NWA's Next Generation.
Interesting. So this might be something we have to do each week, is try to go on the Wayback Machine and see what they were doing on their website, if it's, there.
Yeah, no, I will. I'll try to start doing this as part of our notes, and we can split this stuff. But this is super interesting, and it does. And then look, he even puts like, hey, Joe Somar over at 411 Wrestling wrote a great piece about Wednesday night. So he's even giving shout outs to different wrestling news sources too, that are like, hey, these people wrote up something cool. Oh, look at Konnan and Jerry Lynn will face each other in a tag team match this Wednesday night. Both have not revealed who their partners will be. So this is pretty cool.
I think that's pretty awesome.
So yeah, we will. We're going to take a look at this more, I think. And hey, if you want to email, it looks like Jeremy Borash wrote this, because at the bottom, Jeremy Borash, TNA Borash at AOL.com. If you want to send him an email, I guarantee you it will come back to you. But nonetheless, there's that.
You never know. Maybe he kept it.
He very well could have. Yeah, and then he's talking about Trinity and Red. So it's certainly compelling. I wonder where that will lead. Great to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan again last Wednesday night. You never know who's going to show up. Approach has been very effective. I was trying to find the part where they talk about Goldilocks being exposed, but I'm not finding it quickly.
Lollipop.
Jesus Christ. I said that last week too. My apologies. Lollipop. They're not the same person at all.
No.
I think it's the I and the Y that's throwing me off. Lolly, Goldie.
Right.
Well, needless to say, yeah, definitely really cool. And I'm glad you brought that up because I knew about it for a while and I never did a deep dive on it. And I was like, I don't know when I'm going to tell Bob how cool this is, but I'm going to tell Bob how cool this is one of these days.
Well, I just thought about it like right now because I remember listening to like a Ring of Honor podcast and they went onto the Wayback Machine to see like the results for a poll or something, which was pretty neat to even think of that.
That's pretty cool. That's nice. Well, what's not so nice is some of this beginning news I got here. It's a very interesting news, actually, and this was actually found in, so this is the March 24th, 2003 Observer newsletter, and this was found in the Pro Wrestling Noah section. Now, if that's not a giveaway of who it is, we did mention before that Vader left Pro Wrestling Noah, essentially, to come to the NWA TNA. He pretty much left Japan. We don't know why. It's all looking kind of mysterious. Now, we won't get too much into his contract with Noah and stuff because honestly, it doesn't really affect our timeline that much. But it is said here, this is what he writes as an unrelated note to the contract stuff. So in January, apparently Vader was stabbed on his legs, arms, and stomach many times, said to be by the, I'm going to say it wrong, Yakuza, which is like a Japanese mafia, essentially. Although nobody has given any kind of good explanation as to what caused this. So no one knows why it happened or anything. Now, it is said that's why he disappeared in the middle of the tour in January. And then, sorry, I just lost my place here. In the middle of the tour in January with no publicity at first. And then was said to have suffered a knee injury, which ended up coming out as a work when he ended up doing the TNA shows. So this was the reason he was also wrestling in a T-shirt on the TNA shows to cover the relatively fresh wounds, most of which were covered by his wrestling attire. Nothing is being said about this in Japan, and there aren't even rumors about it. So apparently Vader was like stabbed, and that's why he, at least on the first show, came out with like a shirt on.
So he got stabbed in January, and he came out. This was like a month and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I guess unless it didn't heal too great, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was interesting nonetheless, though, and not something I expected to read this week.
Yeah, well, anytime you get stabbed by a Japanese mafia and you're Vader, it makes you wonder what the hell was going on with that.
For sure.
Or as to like why he was involved with the mafia. He had to have been involved with it for something, right?
He had to have done something. How else would that have happened randomly?
Yeah.
I don't know if they just randomly attack you. No, who knows? Maybe they do, but
I don't know. I've never crossed the mafia.
Yeah, me either. I don't plan
to.
Yeah, I don't plan to.
Yeah.
Now, we do have some good news, though, is that there are some definite signs of real business picking up, as opposed to it being like faked and they're just saying it. On the March 12th show, the 700 paid were more than double the 350 that they've been getting. And the March 19th advance was ahead of the pace of the March 12th. So that's heading into this show. Now, last week was the largest paid attendance since the early weeks. The DirecTV numbers are going up to a significant degree, and their rise would indicate the buys now in the more than 15,000 range for total buys if the non-DirecTV increase is similar, which would be expected. And so we're rising since bottoming out in December, so it was pretty good. Now, if you include the international deals, they closed the money loss gap pretty significantly, it would appear. It was the sixth straight full house in the building, which I think we mentioned last week, that we've really had a good amount of shows in a row. But they were still heavy papering things, which makes sense, obviously, if they had 700 paid and we were at 13. Now, this is where it kind of gets interesting. So I believe it was last week we started to mention, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, that we started to mention, hey, we're going to start making people pay or letting people in early who pay. Well, this was the first week where they differentiated between paying customers and freebies. So at 5:30 p.m. before the show, Burt Prentice told the people in line that were waiting to get in that they were going to be doing separate lines for those who paid for tickets and the ones who got freebies. When they separated, there was approximately 5 times as many people in the freebie line, said to be about 50 paid out of 300 in line at the time. So you can use that to kind of get that estimate, he says. And the people with tickets were let in first, so they were able to get the best GA seats. They didn't let the freebies in until about 6:30, which is what we reported on, like I said, I think last week. And a lot of people in the freebie line were mad because they missed the first dark match. Others in the freebie line actually left the line and purchased tickets so they could get in.
Smart.
Well, that's something that you and I discussed.
That's what they should be doing. I feel like if I was running the company or running the side of it, I'd say people who bought it, you get in at 5:30, you see all the dark matches and explosion, whatever. If you're a freebie, you get in after the dark and explosions. You'll watch the pay-per-view, but you'll miss the stuff before.
I agree with that, and I think that's a good model. And we even discussed this, like, hey, we showed up and they were like, hey, these guys are getting early and you guys got free tickets. Like, you want to pay your $15 to get in early and see a couple extra matches and then get better seats? Well, yeah, kind of I do.
Right.
So I do think that was very interesting, and I think it's definitely a smart move. And I'm curious to see how our numbers are affected going forward, if at all.
Well, and it should be interesting too, because if you have the freebie tickets and you're there, I feel like you're not inclined to leave, like to go home. If you're not getting in, you're probably more inclined to be like, well, I'm already here. I probably should just pay the $15, $20 or whatever to get in earlier than what I would be with a free ticket.
I think so too. And you know what? I think it's interesting to note as well that our dark matches for Explosion and stuff, I think, have been getting better as far as putting people from the show on it, which makes you more inclined to then want to see them. Especially if you're gonna, I might miss Sonny Siaki in an Explosion, and I really like him. Something like that could happen. And so I think that makes you more interested in wanting to see those matches as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Now, as we know, or especially as we're hoping, it appears that they're building for a 3-way between Jarrett, Raven, and Styles for the NWA title over the next few weeks. Fingers crossed to that news. Let's really hope so. Now, of course, we know that we went to a draw last week between Styles and Raven, which to me might as well have the triple threat in the next couple weeks and just call it a day. So let's keep our fingers crossed about that. Nothing like no necessarily news, of course, that's what we're kind of heading toward, which is kind of what we were hoping as well.
Well, I think that you have to do a singles Raven Jarrett match first, and then you can do the 3-way, because Jarrett's already wrestled Styles.
I agree with that. Why not? And I want to see it anyways.
Yeah.
Now, here we go about the expose. So Dave says that the big news on the show, more than the tag titles being decided, was that Lollipop, who was one of the dancers in the cage, had her top pulled off, exposing her newly purchased breasts, as he says. It was set up when Glenn Gilberti, who did his best job since coming here, he says, had valet Hollywood challenge any woman. They did a catfight roll-around spots, and then with Lollipop on top, her small top became loose, exposing one breast by, quote, by accident. It should be noted that the company has talked about from day one about having an accident like this happen. Now, eventually, Hollywood would simply pull her top off, leaving her exposed. Jeremy Borash ran into the ring with Big Eyes doing the panic deal and put his jacket over her. It was really funny, except seeing all the young kids in the front row. There's nothing wrong with a strip show if you aren't selling tickets to kids, but by making the choice to sell those tickets, there should be a semblance of responsibility, even from wrestling promoters. Needless to say, given Bob Ryder's writing in the past when WWF did something a little similar but not nearly as blatant at a pay-per-view a few years back, it's hard to defend. And I did mention this last week. Like, I think it's a little weird to me, but at the same time, like you mentioned, it's very clear the NWA-TNA is, I would say, a 18 to 24 range show.
Sure.
I think. I mean, it's definitely they don't make it known that it's necessarily a kid's show. But especially with the swearing, you know, you can even say that swearing. I would say there's a decent amount of violence as far as like getting cut open and stuff like that. So in that regard, yes, but I do think it's a good point. And I don't know, I wouldn't have thought about it if they didn't show kids on camera, like showing them like excited. I would have never thought twice about it. Like, oh, okay, that just happened. But they're literally showing them in the front row. I'm like, that's a little weird to me. That's a little weird.
Yeah, so I can't really, like, I don't know. I'm not really upset about it because you have to look at it from the perspective of, you know, WWF did it. I think this is what he's referencing. I want to say it was on like Rebellion or Insurrection. It might have been with one of the England shows. Or no. I don't know when it was, but it was on a WWF pay-per-view when Jacqueline was exposed by Sable blatantly, like her breasts were just hanging out. And I'm sure there was kids there for that. Yeah.
No, that's a good point though. And that's not the only time that the WWF has done it. Because
and Sable did expose hers too with like the handprints on her breast.
Yeah, and then the cat like took her top off.
Yeah. Armageddon 99, she did that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Mae Young did hers at the Royal Rumble 2000.
She sure did.
That happened.
So I guess in that regard, that's interesting to bring up here.
But you also have to understand that TNA's product is kind of essentially behind a paywall for pay-per-view. And if you're going to these shows in Nashville, you're going on 37 weeks. If you're not aware of the content that they're providing to you, which is edgier and definitely more adult themed, then you probably shouldn't be bringing your children to that.
Well, I do agree with that. And that's kind of what I was just kind of getting at is it's definitely more of an adult show.
Yes.
So, and it's the thing is that there wasn't a lot of kids to begin with, I don't think. I think it was like a slow trend, which is odd, especially because once Russo came in, we started to really pick up the adult theme a lot more, at least on camera. So
I noticed in like 2002, the crowd was usually like the front row was oddly elderly women.
Yeah, it was.
And they're like grandkids. And then Russo came in, and now it's like you're saying, the 18 to 36 male, you know, and their girlfriends.
It's definitely gotten more of that. It's definitely gotten more of that now. But at the same time, I do feel like I've started to see more kids show up too, though. I feel like I'd never really noticed a lot of kids.
Yeah, no, there's definitely kids there.
But there was definitely grandparents with their kids for sure, because there was a lot of old people, and you know that they weren't just coming for fun. Because they looked absolutely miserable, especially early on. It was just like, why am I at the show with 400 people in this like little shack?
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of, if you go back and watch old Memphis wrestling, that's always kind of been, from what I've been seeing, like the demographic. You know, if you go back, like I would go back and watch Smoky Mountain Wrestling, you know, their supercards, for instance. It's mostly probably men in their 30s who are internet smart, and then old people who are there for good old wrestling. But that was what the Cornette audience was.
Yeah.
The Russo audience is the 18 to 36 Attitude Era people. And then you look back at the Attitude Era and the shit they would do there. You saw kids in there. You saw 10-year-old kids freaking out about whatever. So I'm not going to bash them for doing the lollipop thing because, like I said, you have to pay to watch the show. If it was on national television and they did that,
yeah,
that might be a little different because that's easily accessible. This is like, Mom, you know, if you're 8 years old, Mom, can you pay this $10 so I can watch pay-per-view? It's a different thing.
No, I agree with that. I mean, I don't think how can you argue that? And so in that regard, like, how can we can't bash them for it. I just think it was interesting, you know, to bring up but it's true. I mean, it's a definitely more adult product, and it's behind a paywall. That's especially back in like 2003. Besides like sporting events, what else was on pay-per-view?
Right. Wrestling pay-per-views, UFC, boxing.
You could buy adult. the adult shows.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, so like if you
Gangbang Bus Parties 32 for $14.95. You can want to buy that or whatever.
exactly. So, needless to say, so there's our thing. But yeah, I also just like I read there too. This has been teased. We heard about this news a long time ago that they wanted to do an accident, like expose. So, and we've teased it, especially like we just mentioned earlier with April with the shaving cream and
Right.
all sort. I mean, it goes
Want to
on.
know? You know who I would have thought would do the accident type of thing, and we haven't seen since they've gotten a boob job? Belladonna.
That's a good point, actually. So where is she? Hello, she must be
If
next.
what a horrible thing if Vince Russo or whoever was like, hey Belladonna, I think you should get a breast job, a boob job, and probably be able to get some more opportunity or something. And she's probably, yeah, sure, great. And then she's probably, oh, I'm all healed up, and they're probably now they're like, who are you?
I mean, I'd like to think that's not the case, but if so,
I would hope not.
that is really sad. Because how many pizzas does one girl got to make to get on pay-per-view?
Right.
I don't know. Now, the only major thing, of course, on the show last week, at least according to Dave here, and it is pretty major, is the debut of D'Lo Brown, who got probably the biggest reaction anyone has ever gotten on a show. It speaks volumes about even the local audience, considering that the group considering that they know their minor league, when the appearance of a real major leaguer, even a bottom rung, elicits such a reaction. Now, Brown had a good delivery doing the gimmick where he was promised a title match to come in, but instead they used it to have him cry about WWE. Now, he does mention here, it was one thing when Nitro did that, but there were two differences. Nitro was stealing top talent from WWF, and Nitro was delivering better wrestling matches. Interesting thing there, but whatever. TNA is not only signing WWE cast-off, but worse, making sure everyone knows WWE didn't even want them, and it's not like they left on their own accord. Now, Brown is a good signing, but he should have acknowledged his past in passing and built for his future, instead of spending most of the interview complaining about being mistreated.
Yeah, so, well, you said something about, oh, that's interesting. What was interesting about the Nitro comment?
I just think, I mean, I don't know, like, I guess it's just different wrestling, too. Like, how can you compare...
The Nitro matches, no matter the era, I would say, for the most part, are better than anything we've seen in TNA so far.
Well, I guess probably so far, yeah. I mean, I guess I just think, well, because then you can compare all sorts of things. So, I mean, I get it.
But once we get further into TNA and certain guys come in, then it's probably more of an argument the other way.
Yeah, maybe that's where my bias is coming, because I know what's to come.
Yeah,
too, so
the matches to come are pretty impressive. No, I agree with the promo. I mean, and it's something that we'll see probably dozens of times of guys getting released and fired or whatever, coming in and being like, oh, Vince McMahon treated me this way, and I know I'm better than that, and I'm going to prove him wrong or whatever.
Well, that's going to be a theme for a long time.
Yeah.
And not only in TNA. I mean, that shit still happens now.
Sure.
So it's and I think it's more embraced now. Like, yeah, he didn't use you right. But like, it's that, especially in TNA, it's very much, you come in and you're like, screw Vince McMahon, so we're going to make a tag team. That's his initials. And like shit like that. Like,
yeah.
it's very apparent.
Yeah. The only negative and I'll even say with Raven, the only negative of bringing in a guy like D'Lo Brown and Raven is that they're bringing him so quickly that it's still fresh in your mind that they were on shows like Sunday Night Heat. They weren't on Raw. They weren't really on SmackDown. They weren't presented as a strong character. So when you're bringing in these guys that were so low level on the top promotion, it's going to kind of make your company feel lower level.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
So what I would be doing, and I guess it's probably hard to do this, but I wouldn't bring in D'Lo Brown 3 weeks or 4 weeks after he was fired. Wait a little while, 6 months, a year. So you're kind of forgetting, like, oh, hey, that guy lost to Sean Stasiak in 3 minutes on a Sunday Night Heat 3 months ago.
Yeah.
It comes like fresher because of where they were on the totem pole. Now, by comparison, when in 2005 and 2006, the guys like Christian and Kurt Angle come in, Kurt Angle, for instance, was a main event guy. He had won world titles 7 months prior. So to have him in there, you would want to get him as quickly as you could. Same thing with Christian Cage, who was like the Intercontinental champion, or challenging for it shortly before he came in. But in 2005, like I wouldn't bring in like Orlando Jordan.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Guys of that stature,
for sure.
And you don't want to depend on WWE's guys for sure, but you also have to take in consideration of how they're using them, because if you take the bottom feeders or bottom kind of focal point guys and try to make them your main event guys on your television, I think for the general consumer, we're just going to be like, why is D'Lo Brown challenging for your world championship? This would seem weird.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting, and I think there's opportunity to be able to build those people, but yeah, we're going so quick. It's like, wait, D'Lo he was just on Sunday Night Heat, like pretty cool. I feel like Raven, it was like days. It was like, oh, he's just on there, and now he's here, and stuff like that. So I think that's when you're going that quick, it's like, oh, is this Heat now? I'm paying $10 for a Sunday Night Heat show.
I think Raven was released like 3 days before he came in.
Yeah, I think his was very, very quick.
It was very quick. But you look at a guy, okay, so like Eric Watts, right? He's done pretty much nothing for 3 years.
Yeah.
Before this TNA run. And now when we're still sitting here like, this guy's Eric Watts, right?
Yeah.
But now to a casual fan in 2003, maybe you're not even really aware of Eric Watts. You don't know necessarily his background. You don't really know that he's not a great wrestler. He didn't accomplish anything.
Yeah. And
but if he was on like Velocity losing to Nunzio 3 weeks ago, you're going to remember that when you're watching. Like, why the hell is he here doing that?
Yeah, and I think in Ravens, in his like regard about this, I think it's almost a little different because he's been known with between ECW and WCW, and I feel like
but that was so far long ago.
I know, but I think it helps at least his credibility compared to D'Lo Brown.
Yeah, but even like D'Lo Brown had credibility. He was the Intercontinental champion. He was a European champion. He had worked with Triple H and guys like that before.
Yeah. Well, regardless, all together here.
If this was like 2000, and this happened when Raven comes in, you're like, holy fuck, man! This guy was WCW. He was ECW World Champion. Blah blah blah. D'Lo Brown. Oh my God, Intercontinental champion, European champion. This is crazy. But when you do it in 2003, that stuff is so detached. It's 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, for sure.
So you got to also kind of keep like what's freshly in my brain. Oh, it's that Raven was losing to Johnny Stamboli. It's like any sport, like a athlete. It's always what are they doing right now. So let's say Michael Jordan that's a bad example. I don't know. But let's say this guy, any athlete was a superstar 10 years ago. And then he gets signed today and he's 41. People aren't going to be like, oh my God, this guy's fucking great. They're going to be like, this guy's 41. He was averaging 6 points last season. He doesn't average 34 anymore.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're going here.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not that drastic of a difference for Raven and D'Lo. I'm not saying they're now averaging 6 points a game compared to 34, but I think you're kind of picking up what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, for sure. Now we already mentioned this, but Johnny Storm, he's not bad, but so Dave mentions he does great spots, but he doesn't impress me as far as working, like an outrageous low rent Juventud. And I was like, wow, actually, I get that, and the fact that he didn't impress Dave as far as working, but he does the spots. I mean, did we not say that watching him last week? I thought that was super interesting. Now, that X Division title match, he does say that the crowd loved the match because of the hot move. Sorry, it was a hot mess too, but the hot moves. But they were taken out of it in the last minute because they were so concerned with Trinity, who wasn't seriously injured but was shaken up. She was supposed to do a moonsault off the top top rope to the floor onto Red, but he didn't catch her, and so she landed hard on the floor. Most blame it on her doing the move without looking back, and he wasn't ready to catch her. Before she regained her bearings, Storm did a planned flip plancha spot onto her before she was ready, and it nailed her when she was still down and knocked her head. No way he should have done that spot until she was ready, but he wasn't on the top rope waiting so long because she was shaken up that he came off anyways. He just did it. The plan was for this to actually start the tease to build for Red versus Trinity match and feud. So apparently we are kind of heading in that direction. So good to know that Trinity was not injured here. That was the main takeaway, I think, from this section. But
yeah, I do remember her being shaken up.
For sure. And it was like, I hope she's okay, because that definitely was a scary moment for sure.
Yeah.
Now we know, of course, that Halloween and Damien were the luchador jobbers for Lynn and David Young, which is funny. And apparently David Young did sub for Paul London. And I have a small note on that, but I'm going to save that until Bob gets into the independent news. They looked okay, but nothing compared to Juventud and Super Crazy the previous weeks. The idea was to use this to set up Lynn in London versus Konnan and Guerrera on the March 19th show. However, Lynn is very negative about Guerrera and wants Super Crazy in the spot instead. Even though they had a great match on March 5th, Lynn didn't get along with Guerrera much because he was complaining about getting his spots in, and more mad about doing the job. Then, at an XPW pay-per-view taping on March 8th, in the four-way between Lynn, Guerrera, Storm, and Shark Boy, Guerrera was supposed to do the job again. He complained, but he agreed to do it, and then apparently worked a knee injury and left the match, leaving the other three to sort out the match. When the doctor checked his knee and couldn't find anything wrong, leading to people to believe he worked it to avoid the job, the fact he ended up making all of his shots in Mexico this past week with no sign of knee damage only accentuates that belief. His rep precedes him on matters like that to where he wouldn't get the benefit of the doubt that others would. It's pretty interesting. I mean, there's a lot to take in right there.
No, some things don't change.
Yeah, well.
I don't really remember Juventud ever having an issue with doing jobs. He's always kind of been like a loose cannon of sorts. But to have an ego about losing to Jerry Lynn.
Well, I like this potential of I faked a knee injury to get out of a four-way match.
Yeah.
Like at the XPW show. Which, hey, I'm just saying, I'm going to throw that out here right now. If we get the chance, I'm totally down to watch some of these XPW shows.
No. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay,
there might be one good match, like for instance that, and then we'd have to watch exploding landmines on shards of glass with
hold on.
burning ladders or something with Vic Grimes against Messiah or something stupid.
Okay, fine. So needless to say, I guess the XPW will not be in a bonus episode series. I'm just throwing the idea out here that
if you wanted to do a fantasy booking of XPW, I would suggest just getting strips of paper and writing down the most ludicrous things you could think of, putting them in a hat, picking them out, and that's probably how they did it.
Well, if that's the case, maybe it would make a fun bonus show.
A barbed wire fishnet, exploding tables, 2x4s on fire, last man standing matches.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds absolutely bizarre, but needless to say, I have never seen XPW, but if it's that bad, it's probably not a great idea. However, we've gotten ourselves into the WWA shows, given that ties in a little bit more with what we're doing. But
I'm pretty sure XPW ceased to exist in about 2 months.
Oh, then see, sorry guys, unfortunately, it's just not going to line up with our timeline.
Their run is mostly, I want to say, 2000 to they might make it to early 2004, but there's a stretch of like 8 months where they don't have a show.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that then. Damn, that sucks. It's just not going to time.
I know. I think I looked it up earlier, but in terms of this era, I'm pretty sure that.
No, I think you're about right though. I do think they end very close to this time, if I know correctly. But
their last show Actually, already, I guess, technically happened.
What's the date on that?
That taping, March 8th.
Oh shit. Well, needless to say, they're done. We'll probably never hear their name again.
No, we will in 2008.
2008?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And 2009.
Wow.
And then 2011.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I have
2011 though is apparently a massive combined show in Mexico.
See, no, that sounds kind of interesting. I have more questions, but we don't need to talk about XPW.
And then 2009 is a 10-year anniversary show.
Well, that makes sense. I was kind of thinking that was at least one of them, but well, we already know. I already mentioned the NWA Next Generation name, but for Lawler, Watson, Flair. I don't think we stayed too much on that, but I kind of like it. I think it kind of works for them. What do you think?
I don't want to give them really any kind of compliments.
Well, listen, I don't want to say it works for them. I don't think they are the next generation. I just think it's kind of a cool name for some second generation wrestlers, I guess.
Yeah, but no. I mean, when you say next generation, you're kind of saying, oh, this is the future of TNA. And let me tell you, could you, just like with Vader, could you see yourself in, let's say, 2007? We have a triple threat match here tonight, folks. It's Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, and David Flair for the TNA World Title. Check it out. He was deemed the future of wrestling in 2003. David Flair has been champion for 4 years. No,
I mean, you're right.
Not interested. Brian Lawler is now in the X division. He is go against Loki here tonight.
Well, we need
in
someone
an
else to have
ultimate ladder match or something. I don't know.
Someone else needs it then, because I like the name in general. I find it doesn't work for them. Someone else needs it instead. Anyway,
I know who it would work for.
Oh, who are you thinking?
In Ring of Honor, there'd be a group of guys that would be known as Generation Next.
Okay.
Do you know about that?
I don't think I do, but
wow,
it sounds sort of familiar. But you're gonna test me and then be like, "What do you mean you don't know who Generation Next is?"
Well, you know who Austin Aries is, right?
Yeah.
Alex Shelley.
Yep.
Roderick Strong.
Yep.
And Jack Evans.
Yep.
That's Generation Next.
Okay. Well,
I might be missing someone too from that. I don't remember, but that's the core four of it.
Well, send your hate mail to us and tag Bob if he's missing anyone there.
Yeah, probably not.
So apparently there are at least attempts to bring in two people. One is La Parka.
Yeah, let's go.
And even Ricky Marvin. So pretty interesting there. I really hope La Parka comes in because I think that'd be really fun.
I would be all about that. La Parka is one of my favorite WCW cruiserweight guys.
I think he's fun.
I would be in favor of that completely.
Bring him in. I only got a couple more things here, and I'm going to pass it over here to Bob. Jim Duggan, who just turned 50, also made his debut on the show, as we know. As always, Duggan got a huge reaction for his match with Sanders, and they put him over with the running clothesline. Duggan was wearing overalls to hide his girth, which I thought was a funny line, but looked much heavier than ever before. The match was terrible because they went too long. The crowd was into Duggan for about 2 minutes, but then they needed to go home quick because it ended up being the worst match of the year candidate by the time they went home. So there's that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I had to bring that one up. Now we just mentioned the WWA, which we cover on some of our bonus shows. I think we only got a couple left there. Now the next WWA tour dates consist of May 21st in Sydney, May 23rd in Melbourne, and the pay-per-view show on May 25th in Auckland, New Zealand. So he says that the pay is said to be less overall than on prior Australian tours, and the tour will mainly be TNA talent, headlined by Sting. So I believe that May 25th show, off the top of my head, is their final show, which we will eventually get to. I got two more here. I'm going to bring one of them up, even though it doesn't necessarily apply anymore. But however, before that, this was mentioned last week, and I just want to confirm because it was a little up in the air of like, did this actually happen? But Leilani Kai did in fact win the NWA Women's Championship from Madison, who is from ECCW in British Columbia, in the dark match before the show. It was reported that she won the title, but we couldn't seem to find it anywhere, so I just wanted to confirm that it is it did happen. And I'm going to bring this up. I wasn't going to, but I decided I changed my mind. Because do you remember one of our good friends, Stand Up?
Sure.
Yeah, so he's one of, obviously, Harley Race's students. And he did work the St. Louis Raw taping. So if you didn't think he was going to come back anytime soon, he's probably definitely not coming back anytime soon. So, a little throwback.
Stan, was that Trevor Murdoch or is that Bo?
Yep, it's Trevor.
Okay.
So,
well, that makes sense then.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd throw it in there because of the fact that, well, we haven't seen him in a while, and it was mentioned, obviously, his time in TNA. So there's that. So, Bob, what do you have for independent wrestling news? And then we'll get into Explosion before we get into the show.
I have a record amount tonight.
Ooh.
So I don't know why I keep on saying tonight. We're recording this in the morning, and it gets released in the morning on Friday. So I don't know why I keep on saying that, but maybe if it's, the show was aired at night. So there you go.
There you go.
Low Key, he teamed with the Hit Squad to defeat Special K at Ring of Honor's Expect the Unexpected on March 15th. He then defeated Quiet Storm on March 16th at the PWF 2-year anniversary show to retain the NWA UPW 01 International Junior Heavyweight title.
Whoa, that's a mouthful.
That is a very prestigious belt as well. Christopher Daniels, he teamed with Xavier to lose the Ring of Honor tag team titles to AJ Styles and Amazing Red on March 15th. And then he also lost to C.W. Anderson at PWF's second anniversary show in a title versus title unification match.
Yeah, now that tag team match that you just mentioned, apparently it was actually supposed to be Paul London and AJ Styles to win the title, but London ended up going under an emergency nasal surgery a few days earlier in San Antonio because he had a nasal infection that was so severe it was preventing oxygen from getting to his brain, which of course is not good. Which also would explain, by the way, why he did not team with Jerry Lynn last week.
Wow, okay. Did not realize that was going on. That's pretty serious. Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Jerry Lynn lost to Johnny Storm on March 16th for FWA for the vacant XPW European title. Needless to say, XPW doesn't expand to the European countries because it goes out of business, or is out of business already. Konnan made a rare independent appearance again. Now, you'll remember last time he appeared for Ring of Honor, they booed him out of the building, and it was never released on DVD. This time around, he defeated Skinhead Ivan at USA Pro's March Madness on March 8th. Kid Kash teamed with Tony DeVito in a losing effort against Chris Hamrick and Julio De Niro on March 14th for ACW. Amazing Red lost to Mikey Whipwreck on March 16th at the PWF 2-year anniversary show. D'Lo Brown, who, as we know, will be making his in-ring debut this week. His last WWE match was on February 10th, losing to Booker T in 1 minute and 15 seconds. And then he defeated Johnny Swinger to win the BCW Can-Am title on March 6th. Dusty Rhodes defeated David Flair on March 1st for TCW. Brian Lawler defeated Six-Pac on March 16th for MEW. Raven, this is going to be a fun fact, maybe even kind of a trivia question. Raven defeated CM Punk on March 14th for IWC. So if you're ever wondering, hey, when's the first time that Punk and Raven fought each other? It is not the Ring of Honor show. It's the day before for International Wrestling Cartel.
That is pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah. The next day, he lost to CM Punk on March 15th in a Ravens rules match for Ring of Honor at Expect the Unexpected. And then he defeated Jeff Rocker on March 16th for MEW. And lastly, AJ Styles defeated Super Hentai to win the IWC Super Indie title on March 14th. So that's all there is this time around. Of course, I didn't mention Styles and Red winning the tag titles for Ring of Honor twice. I just kept that to the Daniels losing it to him, so don't think I forgot.
Well, and I also think it's an interesting note that I had on my end too is that Raven brought in Trinity as his valet in that match with CM Punk and Ring of Honor, which is very random, but like I could definitely see it working. So I think it's an interesting pairing though, especially because obviously in TNA, Trinity is with Kid Kash. Oh, that was interesting. And as far as that Ring of Honor show, apparently all the TNA guys were pretty over on the show. Which, if you look at the talent from the TNA side that went onto that show, I don't see why you would even doubt that.
So I feel like I've heard that before from you, or something where the TNA guys were positively reacted to on shows, which I think does continue to happen. But there comes a point though when these guys will appear on shows and they get TNA sucks. So it will be interesting to see when that switches.
Yeah, that'll be kind of disappointing, huh?
Yeah, because I'll tell you, I would say probably from like 2007 onwards, it's very apparent, especially in like the 2010s.
Well,
it's very prevalent.
You can't win it all.
It's true.
Is what it is.
Nothing lasts forever, I guess.
No, that's true. Now, quickly, we have some fun explosion matches. I don't know if I'd say this is quite stacked, but there's 3 matches, so it's a pretty packed card here. Okay. And so obviously this took place on March 19th, 2003, the same day as Pay-Per-View 37 that we're about to be watching, and it aired on March 22nd, 2003. The Harris brothers defeated Brian Bump and Danny B. Goody. Whoever that is.
What?
Sonny Siaki defeated Kevin Northcutt. I don't know who that is. Let's see. Do you see anyone?
Yeah, he actually becomes a TNA almost like regular.
Oh yeah, he does end up coming in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's a big guy. He's about probably 6'7", 6'8".
Okay. Well, hey, that's exciting.
He was a heavily promoted prospect guy for some PWIs and stuff like that. PWI 500s would always kind of praise him a little bit.
Nice. Well, hey, that's cool then. And America's Most Wanted defeated the Dynamic Duo, which is not listed anywhere who the Dynamic Duo is. So we're never going to know.
That's a shame.
Yeah, and I can't even click on their name.
Yeah, I wish it was like the Dynamic Dudes. That way it could be Shane Douglas and Johnny Ace coming out on skateboards.
Well, you would have thought so, right? Now, there was one other dark match that took place that was not part of Explosion, and that was David Young defeating Paul Vault. So just a random little dark match that probably all those people waiting outside missed out on again, but needless to say.
You're telling me we missed a David Young dark match? Oh, my God. Next time I'm paying $20 to get in.
Hey, you never know. But that's all I got, man. Are you ready to get into this show or what?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what they're going to give us this week for TNA. All we know, obviously, judging by the Wayback Machine, is D'Lo, Jarrett, and Dusty against Next Generation. So that alone is probably 4 stars. So let's see if they can build on that. 4 stars out of 100. Let's count down from 5. And let's watch the show. If you want to watch along, go on to Fight TV or whatever, or find it in your own personal collection. Or not. Just listen to us, watch and react to it, and discuss random stuff. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, we're getting right started off here, and Hacksaw has a microphone. He wants to tell France and Germany something as we go to war with our friends in Australia and the UK.
He told them to get out of their way. Is this like the beginning of the Iraq War or something?
What is okay? This is an odd start to the show. Okay, he wants to do the Pledge of Allegiance, so Bob, I think we should recite it. I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. But well, while I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
You just said we weren't going to recite it.
I know. It's just when you're in school and you do it from like kindergarten to 12th grade, you kind of get used to it. We in the audience tonight, we have 1,000 people So we went down a little bit from our sellouts. We've broken our 6-show streak of sellouts. But 1,000's still pretty good. I'm not going to complain.
I wonder when it had to have been around this time. This just seems like a random time for Jim Duggan to start the show. Let's see here.
I'm very confused about this open.
Oh, okay. So the Iraq War technically starts the next day.
Okay.
So it must have been like a thing where they've declared it or something for like tomorrow. So it goes from March. I didn't realize it was this long. March 20th, 2003 till December 15th of 2011.
Oh, okay.
So, wow. There you go. That's why Jim Duggan's out here. So doing some emotional supporting motivational speech here.
Oh, USA.
Lead us a ho. Oh, sorry.
Wow.
That's my favorite Jim Duggan thing, is when he shows up in like 06 and
I do remember that, yeah.
Edge and Leader were backstage and he's like, I'll tell you something, Edge. Lead us a ho.
I like how he had JB hold the flag so he could like stand behind it while he was cutting it. It was a nice visual and all, but it's just funny that JB was the one holding it. They didn't have like a stand for him or anything.
Yeah. Well, it's not in the budget.
No, it can't be.
All right,
okay, so
going backstage.
That was it. That was 3 minutes of just Jim Duggan cutting a promo, and it looks like we're having production issues. Here we go. Now we're getting our recap from, well, this was like 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? A couple weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I think, at this point. But yeah, showing Eric Watts throwing Jarrett through that table the same night that he showed Vince Russo the tape of his kids, which then led Vince Russo to leave wrestling for good.
Forever. And you're going to regret what you did to us. And then Eric Watts was like, remember when I got a contract before you did?
Yeah, and here's Russo. Mike, I saw firsthand the price, bro. What I did. Now, I said I'm going to leave wrestling, but 2 weeks later, you're still showing me quitting on the show, bro. You know why? Because I'm still in the back.
Exactly. I'm still writing the shows. I'm just not appearing on TV.
But that's fine. Now, Bob, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So during that hacksaw segment, I just happened to, because I wanted to see if you wrote on Wrestling Recaps what was happening during this time about the Iraq War. Of course, you just looked it up anyways. But you don't have that opening segment on here.
Yeah, I probably didn't cover it because it's not related to the show.
Well, that's what I was just going to mention, actually, because I did notice.
I usually don't, like, I don't think I probably covered the video package here either.
You did not, and that's a good point, because I think your reviews on these, starting from last week's show, so Pay-Per-View 36, it looks like you started to format them a little differently. So
yeah, I changed it back to how it was originally. But there's a period of time where I changed the format, yeah.
So that makes sense then. Okay. I just wanted to confirm that my idea was right there.
Yeah. Well, I feel like when I'm reviewing something, why would I feel like this is what happened last week? No. I'm there to review the stuff related to that week.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
And the Jim Duggan thing is more of like a pop culture thing.
Well, and it is only relevant to certain people anyway, I guess. So. Right. Yeah, horse, here we go. D'Lo Brown. He's here. Wow, we're over 5 minutes, and all we got Hacksaw talking, if you really want to count that. However, we haven't really gone anywhere yet.
So they pretty much cut all of his complaining for him to just be like, I'm going to prove I'm a bona fide superstar.
And some random girl standing up, and then he's like, hey.
Oh, yeah,
Sonny Siaki.
I forgot about that.
Ace in the hole. Which actually, I'm like interested to see them potentially have a singles match, to be honest with you.
Well, here's the thing. I feel as if with D'Lo Brown, he better be putting guys over.
Bob, this is TNA wrestling. So if a name comes in, such as D'Lo Brown, and you know who he is,
Yeah.
well, we like him, so that's who's winning the match. It's just the way it's going to go, and that's the way it's going to continue to go for a long time.
Yeah, that's true. Or, they'll bring in people that you do like, but they won't, pull the trigger on them.
Yeah. Listen, it's just the way it happens, and that's fine. That's just the way it works. But we still love them. That's why we're here doing this podcast. No, hey, here's our opening package. Hey, we're 6 minutes and 45 seconds in.
I don't love them.
You got a soft spot.
I was forced into this podcast because it's more, it's closer to modern wrestling than 95 WWF. I'll tell you that.
Wow. Well, here comes Glenn Gilberti, the Harris brothers. There's Sonny Siaki. Essentially, this is what's left of Sports Entertainment Extreme, I think.
Yeah, isn't that pretty sad? All you need is Mike Sanders in there? Because he's
not. He's not. That's why I'm saying, this is kind of what we got left. Unless Mike Sanders is just hiding, but why would he not come out? This looks like a group effort here, as Glenn and Sonny Siaki are both not wearing the shirts, which, to be fair, Sonny Siaki has been wearing more, dressier clothes, but
yeah.
It's just another thing. I really think we're just slowly fading away. Now, the Glenn shirt's very weird. There's a zipper on the side of it. It's like a Jeff Jarrett shirt.
It's 100% a Jeff Jarrett shirt.
He's calling out D'Lo Brown here. There's a TVMA sign, probably because last week we saw boobs. So they're like, hey, they're not going to tell you it's TVMA, but we will in the audience.
And you know what? That might contribute to why it's not a sellout.
It very well could have been, man. I mean, not everyone likes to see boobs at a wrestling show.
Yeah.
So
if it was an older audience, maybe there was 380-year-old men in there and they all died from heart attacks because they saw Lollipop's breasts.
Well, really, it could have been. So here comes D'Lo, and he's got a chair. He's making sure he's prepared, and he's in his ring gear. He's armed and ready. At
least he already has music that isn't born in the USA.
Well, ain't that the truth, man? Everyone has that theme song.
And I'm pretty sure this is the music he uses for his duration, so.
It might change when he joins Aces and Eights, but I don't know.
Oh, shit, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. Because I was thinking, when you were mentioning that he had a match tonight, I was like, oh, I know, he's here for a period of time. I don't think he ever comes back. And then here you go, 2013 or whatever.
And listen, I'm just gonna say, well, as D'Lo's getting in the ring here, when he unmasked and joined Aces and Eights, I remember just rolling. I was like, ugh, really?
It's D'Lo, bro.
I was like, that's our big shock here. D'Lo's in the ring.
Yeah, that wouldn't fit.
Yeah, D'Lo's in the ring. He's got his chair. Glenn's like, listen. First off, D'Lo, Sonny's got something to say. He's like, Ace in the hole, Sonny Siaki.
That's literally what he just said.
He wants to apologize for what happened last week, and he puts his hand out. Will D'Lo shake his hand? What's the crowd saying?
You don't shake hands with somebody that's left-handed. You can't trust them. Because if I had to bet Sonny Siaki's right-handed, he'd punch him in the face.
Oh, that's a very interesting point. He did stick out his left hand.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
He's like, hey, I'm Glenn Gilberti. I'm the Disco Inferno. I'm sure you heard about me. That's the first time we've really mentioned that.
Well, I wonder if he's even supposed to say that because it could have been another production thing, but the microphone did go down a little bit when he said Disco Inferno.
Yeah, he said he heard his interview about how the chains were broken and stuff. Now, mind you, it wasn't an interview. He just said it.
Right. He just cut a promo.
And he also heard him talk about the glass ceiling in the WWE. He goes, there is no glass ceiling here in the NWA TNA. The ceiling here
is wooden.
Oh,
because we're at a fairground.
He should say it's wooden, but he said it's made out of concrete, which if it's true, the foundation of this building probably will crumble over the next few weeks.
Probably.
He just said he insulted Jeff Jarrett there a little bit.
Oh, so he's suggesting it's concrete because of Jeff Jarrett.
Oh.
You're never going to get to that top because it's concrete because Jeff Jarrett's like, fuck you. You ain't coming up here.
No, I kind of like that. That is kind of funny.
Yeah.
This is going to last too long. I can already tell because Glenn just keeps talking.
He's already said Jeff Jarrett 9 times at the start of each sentence. Now, how does he earn a world title shot when he's done nothing in the company? And his last match in WWE was a loss to Booker T in 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Well,
where's the logic behind that?
Well, there is none. And that's because, listen, he said, hey, you want me to come in? If you forgot who I am D'Lo Brown. And if you want to be down with the Brown, I need an NWA world title shot to sign this contract, brother. And then they're like, you got it.
You got it, pal. Oh, you were in the WWE? Okay.
Well, and, you know, some of our top guys were like D-list WCW guys. Well, then, okay. Fine.
We're the company where we had to convince you that Malice was not the Wall from WCW.
I mean, we have Mike Sanders, who was like popular in like 2000, 2001.
I don't think he was ever popular.
Well,
I say known, but I don't know.
I'm saying popular as he was on the screen a lot.
Yeah, like every other segment.
And then you got Glenn here, who his best work is clearly in the Filthy Animals with the Disco Duck. And if you want to disagree with me, you can add us.
No. His best work is in WCW late 97, probably from about August to December. So 4 months of his entire career was good.
I just thought the Disco Duck shit was funny. Anyways, here's Jeff Jarrett's music.
Well, Disco Duck was funny. What was also funny is when he first arrives in WCW in like 95, he doesn't know how to do his finishing move, and that's how he loses matches. It's pretty funny.
That's awesome. Here's Jeff Jarrett. D'Lo, if you believe this bull crap, he says, then you'd believe that I just got off the phone with Vince McMahon and he wants you back in the WWE.
Well, that's kind of insulting to D'Lo.
What if he did want him back? Say,
if you believe that, then you'll believe that Vince McMahon made a mistake in letting you go. So you're trashing on D'Lo.
Well, hey, D'Lo wants a shot at his title. I'd trash him too, I guess, in a way.
I wouldn't.
Oh, they have a mutual friend in Vince Russo. All of a sudden, Jeff Jarrett's friends with him?
What?
Oh, because Vince Russo, who was on this program 3 or 4 weeks ago, is not the same guy.
He's changed.
D'Lo's like, really? Trust you? Now, D'Lo's back is turned to Sports Entertainment Extreme.
He's going to get his ass kicked.
Don't take this wrong, dog. There we go. When they called me, they promised me a title shot. And now, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Jarrett's like, well, damn it, he caught me. Yep, damn it.
Oh, great.
Oh, no. Is D'Lo about to join Sports Entertainment Extreme? There's no way.
I don't think so.
Where's my title shot? He's
D'Lo,
literally
been here for a week.
You haven't even had a match yet. I mean, I don't care if that's your first match, maybe, but...
I could understand Raven. He's been here for going on 2 months. He hasn't had one.
Oh, Jarrett said, you get it. Oh, he says, so you want a damn handout. Wait, who just to take Jarrett?
Who's that?
Ah, shit, Next Generation.
Okay. What is Dave? Okay, I didn't know what David Flair was wearing there for a minute.
I was very confused of everyone's attire. Brian Lawler's wearing bright red pants.
I thought David Flair was wearing like belt buckles on his hip, like Ron Killings does for pants.
Yeah, this is no. I know what you mean. They're wearing okay. Look at this. Jarrett is getting attacked in the ring by Sports Entertainment Extreme now.
Okay, so safe to say that D'Lo is not joining because he's getting beat up on the floor.
Oh, I hear cheering. Who's this? It's Dusty.
Dusty.
The American Dream, baby. Boom, elbow to Glenn. Punching Siaki here, who was wearing pants that I thought were Glenn's. So double elbows. Getting those Harris brothers.
This is my favorite thing in wrestling when one guy beats up 9 of them because they just stand there waiting for a punch.
Well, don't worry. Glenn just did a chop back to Dusty that I don't know if he actually even felt before they just.
I don't think he even chop blocked him. I think he just fell down near his leg.
Who's this? Oh, America's Most Wanted's out here.
Yeah. Where's Ron Killings and Jerry Lynn?
Well, Ron Killings only watches the show from the crowd these days, so.
Yeah, that's right.
The crowd like sort of doesn't care about this. I feel like they were excited for a second, and now they're just like, oh yeah, woo.
Well,
like
when your heels are the Harris brothers. Oh, here's Ron Killings.
Look at you, motherfucker! You're right. They're cheering for him though.
They are, but when your heels are the Harris brothers, Lawler, Watts, and Flair, it's probably hard to really get invested in. Oh,
look at that. A pop-up double dropkick, essentially, to the Harris brothers by Ron Killings. Might as well have a battle royal. You know what, Bob? I hope there is a battle royal on the show. I'm in the mood to watch a battle royal today.
Well, maybe we'll get a 10-man tag. Whoa, okay. Killings is hugging Jarrett.
Wow. That ain't gonna last.
No way.
Look, the NWA. Look, he's hugging Dusty.
Oh, because remember, Ron Killings was all like, oh, maybe I will join sex. You don't know. I'm going to sit in the corner like an emo guy and make you question everything.
Yeah, and there's the Next Generation. Now, David Flair is wearing a TNA shirt, so I think that's official. He's out of sex because sex hates TNA, so you can't wear both.
That's true. And they did run from backstage, not from the crowd.
What a wild way to kick off the show, Tanae says. And yeah, I mean, I guess so. We're almost 20 minutes in. We're 18:15, and we have not had a match yet. We've just had a Jim Duggan promo, a recap video, and then more promo and like a little brawl.
Yeah. But to be fair, it's been a relatively quick 20 minutes.
No, you're right. It has been. So I can't complain about that. But this is a lot of stuff without a match to me. I don't generally mind. I feel like as much if we have even a quick match and then we have 20 minutes of BS because it's like, oh, at least we started out with the match.
Yeah, I think context is important. So if you had bought this pay-per-view, you're going on almost 8:20.
Wait,
Eastern time.
Wait a second. AJ Styles Raven in a rematch. Oh, we got a rematch today. Oh. Here's Raven. This is the Poison Legacy. Oh, what's left me? This is Decayed Estate. He's surrounded by weapons. He's got a kendo stick. There's some tables, trash cans. Don't you dare. Did you just see that, Bob? They just panned over and there's a fucking ladder.
It did. That could just be a weapon.
Right.
TLC match.
It does kind of look like that, huh? Full Metal Mayhem. They don't call it TLC.
No. Yeah.
Which I fucking don't care. I think it's awesome.
I kind of like the Full Metal Mayhem better than TLC, to be honest with you.
So do I.
It sounds way more violent.
And they always use the stairs in cool ways.
Yeah.
Okay, you're interfering with my fate, he says. Now he's obviously talking to AJ Styles here. I think this is a super cool visual, by the way. The way they lit this, he's blue. The ceiling's all red. I mean, this is really cool.
It does look good. His forehead is bleeding with tape on it.
Yeah. His road to glory. He will use any means necessary to eliminate him from the picture. No DQ. No stoppage for blood. There's no count out. No count out. No pinfall. Ah, shit. Whoever climbs this ladder to the top.
So it's a no disqualification ladder match, also known as the ladder match.
Yeah. Winner faces Jeff Jarrett. Because he's a man with destiny. And he's a man on a mission. And he wants his title match now. He didn't say
What
that.
about me? What about Raven?
So help me, AJ Styles. If you come between me and my destiny, he will not be held accountable for his actions. Now say it. Oh, damn it. Welcome to Raven Clockwork Orange House of Fun. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
So is it a Clockwork Orange House of Fun ladder match?
If so, that'll be pretty interesting.
All right, well, here's the Tag Team Championship match kicking off the show. It's the new action-wise, the new church. Brian Lee and Slash with Father James Mitchell. We're now 22 minutes on the dot right now.
Yep.
Before we even get our entrances for our first match.
The new church is out here quick. They did not show them posing on the stage or nothing. I mean, they just walked down to the ring. We're in the ring. We're ready to go.
Well, it's almost, you're going on a half hour without any wrestling on a wrestling show that you paid $10 for.
Now, listen, I think this is a good time to mention this. When Brian Lee joined the new church, I was not happy. But I think he's actually fit the role very well as the time has gone on.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And here comes Triple X. Which two are we about to see in this match?
It looks like Low-Key and Daniels.
Yeah, Low-Key and Daniels have the titles in hand.
Are they trying to tell us that Skipper is the least valuable of the three or something?
Well, Tanay just said we never know which two it's going to be. So they're still teasing as Skipper can't get his shirt off. Holy shit, that thing was wicked tight.
Yeah, it was. Why do muscleheads do that?
You got to look even more jacked. From the world famous TNA Asylum.
The world famous TNA Asylum? That seems a
That's what he
bit of a
just said.
stretch.
Well, to be fair, it is viewed all over the world, so I get why he says that. Mike Posey is our referee.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go to work tomorrow and be like, hey, do you know the TNA Asylum? And they're going to be like, no. And I'm going to say, do you know Madison Square Garden? And they'll be like, yeah.
That's a little different, but...
Is it a little different? Because I'm sure they've both said world known.
Well, one is like the
arena.
disciples of the new church. We don't even get a view of their face because they're posing to the crowd.
There we go. Slash is looking just like a pissed off version of Christopher Daniels with all his tattoos.
Introducing first of all, he looks Skipper.
Yeah. Prime time, baby.
Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. Damn right, we're the champions and you know it, he says. Low-key, who always looks like he can't breathe, so he's like,
well, that's probably why he doesn't want to wear a mask.
oof. Triple X, baby.
I feel like it's going to be Daniels and Skipper.
I was sort of thinking that too.
Well, Loki still has the belt. And
I hope it
Skipper's
is.
definitely acting like as if he's wrestling.
Oh, but
wait,
he
no,
just
doesn't have
passed
the
off the belt. Skipper and Loki are going to run at him, I think.
No.
Yeah, I think they are.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Hey.
Look at you.
Okay, here we go. So we got Loki and Skipper versus... Wait, Daniels is still in the ring, though.
Yeah, because he's probably going to get beat up.
Oh, yeah.
He thought his pals were doing something good, and then they didn't.
Double big boot by the new church to Daniels to get him out of the ring.
Oh, Slash with a somersault dive onto Daniels and Skipper on the floor.
Let's get a replay!
They love that shit. Lee with a clothesline to Loki.
No way.
Lee with a dive over the top to the floor.
Brian Lee goes airborne. Slash whipping Skipper against the guardrail. And then Brian Lee whipping Loki against another guardrail. Because after all, this is a new church match.
Yeah, that's what they do here.
And Father James Mitchell's like, yes, I will officiate weddings in the future. Get ready.
That's weird. Don West just said that he calls Brian Lee the Killdozer.
Okay.
He was known as the Bulldozer, Brian Lee.
Look at Slash set up the stairs. He's running up them, dives onto Elix Skipper there. It's literally Brian Lee's just throwing people around, throwing Daniels, throwing Low Ki. He don't give a shit.
He doesn't care. Oh, what's he doing now? Is he choking Skipper? Yeah. Choking Skipper with like a TV cord, it looks like. Now, these guys were involved in a double pin to cause the belts to be vacant.
That's true. So this match is really like literally weeks and weeks in the making. This should have been the first match they did.
Should have been the only match they did. They should never have done a tournament. But that was probably more done so because Triple X is never there.
I was going to say, I think that's why they kind of vacated the titles essentially, is because they had to go to Japan for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Brian Lee's in the ring with Low Ki, tossing him onto the top rope. Slowly picking him up. And he throws him out of the ring. Slash is in control with Skipper, it looks like, over on the side. It's hard to tell. Daniel checks on Low Ki, and Brian Lee's like, no, fuck you.
How has there not been a count out yet?
Relax rules, bro. And Mike Posey, he's new here. He hasn't been here that long.
That's true. He's replacing Scott Armstrong.
Yeah, that's a good point. We haven't seen Scott Armstrong in a while, so you'd probably say that's done.
Well, he walked out, didn't he?
Yeah, but I feel like we still were kind of up in the air if that was like they're both actually gone, but it's definitely, I mean, they're definitely gone.
I wonder if Scott comes back ever.
I don't know if he does. I don't think he does.
I don't know if he does either. Let's see.
Oh, that was a nice counter by Skipper, doing them essentially like a matrix and popping back up as Slash hit Daniels off the apron. Low Ki kicked Slash in the back, which allows Skipper to get a back suplex in. Now he's climbing to the headstand on the top. Look at that. He did like a headstand and then twisted into a leg drop. That's cool.
Skipper does some impressive things.
Tags in Low Ki here. They got Slash into the corner. Woo!
So Scott Armstrong does not return. Ever.
Well,
that sucks. He ends up in WWE forever. That's all right.
Yeah, well.
Go get him, Low Ki. He's stomping on the right
his,
knee on Slash.
Yeah. It actually looked kind of painful the way he was kicking him.
It was like bending it.
And I think it's important to note, a lot of the TNA refs end up hanging out for like a long time, and then they all go away.
At like the same time.
Yeah. And it's like, right now in TNA or Impact, I couldn't name one of the refs. I don't know none of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's there. Because I think Posey's there for a while.
Posey's there for a while. And Slick's not in yet.
No. And
So,
obviously Earl Hebner at some point is here too.
Yep, Earl Hebner comes in. But then we have like Skipper goes for a cover, but Brian Lee just kind of kicks his head from on the apron. Then we have obviously Rudy Charles. He's there for a long time.
Yeah.
Andrew Thomas is there for a while too, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's there until AEW starts.
Oh, there you go. I mean, that.
Skipper had Slash over his shoulder, and Low Ki hit a top rope knee strike, which looked actually. Here's a replay of it, of course. It looked pretty good.
That was nice. They did that really well.
Yeah. Gets a 2 count for Low Ki. Is Slash? No. Okay. I thought Slash was bleeding for a second, but I don't think he is.
Oh, I see what you mean. It does. I don't think he is, though, but. Oh, Low Ki getting put up and over. He gets on the middle rope, kicks Slash, comes back. Slash catches him for a chokeslam, but it gets. He picks him up in a chokeslam and then power bombs him.
Nice. Sit down powerbomb out of it. Low Ki was trying to counter the chokeslam, but ended up getting powerbomb for it.
Crowd's into it. They're
New Church are definitely baby faces, which is weird.
100. Yeah, definitely weird. Did not expect that. But crowds into this match. A lot of them are standing up on the floor here on the hard camera side.
I don't see them winning this at all. I think the feud for the tag titles is clearly Triple X and AMW.
I think so as well, but I think this is even if not, I mean Triple X, then New Church can still chase it as so can America's Most Wanted. I think there's still that opportunity there, as we discussed earlier. As Brian Lee gets Irish whipped, comes back with a double clothesline to Triple X.
Yeah, Brian Lee not having a bad House of Fire segment here. Mostly clotheslines. I don't know what they just having there. Skipper like
his legs look like they just gave out.
Oh, Death Valley Driver by Brian Lee. 1, 2, nope. Low-key with the save. Lee has Skip or Low-key just casually tossing him on a slam. What is he signaling for? Okay, just a tag. Doomsday something? I don't know. We're waiting here. Camera's just on Slash. Is Brian Lee having trouble?
No, well, it could have been, but
yeah, he did have Low-key on his shoulder.
Low-key's getting the dragon clutch in, but he reverses it, but he tosses him out of his ref.
Yeah, great. Referee bump. Ref falls to the floor because, of course, it's a title match. I mean, why wouldn't there be a ref bump?
Wow, yeah. Brian Lee looking up. He's got him up in the tombstone. Daniels off the top of the title shot to the back of Brian Lee, essentially. He looks Skipper's on the table.
Break it.
Slash with a bicycle kick. Daniels getting him out of the ring. Here comes Skipper. Is he going to do it? Is he going to hit?
Play
of the day. Oh.
No.
Oh. Nice counter with a clothesline. Short arm clothesline there to Skipper. Slash picking him up. He's going to go for that neck breaker.
Nope. Low-key with the save. Blocks a right hand. Slash is going to hook up Low-key.
Is he going to hit the slash and burn here?
Yes.
Nope. They don't call it that anymore, but that's what it's called. TNA just called it a whirly bird. But
yeah.
Oh, did you see that?
Somebody slid something.
The title got slid.
Oh, the title.
That was nice how they slid it across the ring, but
yeah.
Skipper didn't even pick it up. He instead just, oh, wait a second. This is why it's in the ring. Play
of the day.
Onto the title, kind of?
We'll go with it was.
We'll go with it was, but it was really sloppy. But, of course, the referee's still down. Oh, wait, here he comes. Here comes Mike Posey.
1.
Holy shit.
2. Oh, Malice is back.
Hell yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yes. Malice is destroying Triple X now. Picking Daniels up. Powerbomb.
Now, is the last time we saw him when he slipped off the rope?
Yeah, it might have been.
Okay.
Powerbomb to Skipper.
See ya.
Dude, I am hyped right now that Malice is back. I didn't know if we were ever going to see him again.
I mean, it is pretty cool because I do like Malice.
I just want this team to be a bigger collective of guys because I think it works.
Yeah.
He's caught Low-key in the chokeslam. Is he going to hit it? Holy, yep. Dead.
See you later.
Wait, Mike Posey's starting to get back in the ring, and he definitely just saw that chokeslam happen.
I would hope so.
Oh, Mike Posey pushing him,
but
then
shoved him. Why would he do that? Idiot. He's gonna get murdered.
Harris brothers are out ringside. Oh yeah, because they're with Sex still. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say they're not part of security, so don't.
Oh God, killing Mike Posey with the chokeslam.
If that wasn't a case of whiplash, I don't know what would be.
We're just playing the theme song.
Yeah, the match is thrown out.
Well, Elix Skipper's holding up the belts. Obviously, this is like a no contest, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, Tanae's saying it's a disqualification. That's what he's been told.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
New Church disqualifying.
I'm pretty excited the Malice is back, dude. I don't know how much longer he's going to be here or what else is he going to do, but I'm down for it.
Well, iPop's showing her support for America in the war by having flags in her shorts.
Well, I think the only way to show it is if she had little tattoos on her butt cheeks, and she showed us her butt cheeks again.
Yeah, exactly. She did that for Australia.
Okay, Mike Tenay sat down with Eric Watts earlier today, and I love these sit-down interviews because they wear the stupidest clothes.
It just shows you the fashion.
Oh, yeah, early 2000s.
Yeah.
He picked up Jarrett like a rag doll, and he slammed him down. He made everyone question why. And he was like, and I haven't told the answer because I'm Eric Watts. And you know you want to see Eric Watts in my polo jeans Coke shirt.
The Tradition. Is he trying to say their name is The Tradition?
No, I think he was cutting it off because Tenay was questioning it, essentially.
Oh.
Because, see, he didn't include him in Tradition. There's a reason why.
I don't know if you can hear it, but I think the crowd is chanting boring.
I do sort of hear that in the background, which is pretty interesting. I wonder why they don't want to hear Eric Watts talk with Mike Tenay right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what are they trying to say? So speaking of Eric Watts, I believe...
Wait, he's pulling something out of his pants. Oh, it's a phone, I think. I was worried it was a gun, to be honest. We've seen that happen, so...
Yeah, if you threatened Mike Tenay with a gun, I don't know what I would do. Yeah, okay, he's just putting over his dad. So he played college football at Louisville for 3 years.
Oh, yeah, you shared something about this fairly recently on Twitter, and I thought it was hilarious.
I did. So there's been this narrative, I think even with Mike Tenay. He was a great college football quarterback, blah, 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 all this stuff. So this is his career stats. Okay. He played 32 games over 3 years. He attempted 265 throws. He completed 119. His percentage is 44.9. That's atrocious. That is bad. Career yards, 1,391. That's a 5.2 average per throw. That's not good. He had 7 touchdowns and 16 interceptions with a quarterback rating of 85.6.
Now, I'm going to say here, full disclosure, I don't know what none of that means. So if you're listening, I hope everything Bob just said makes total sense to you, but I don't watch football, so I know nothing about it.
Yeah. So what that basically means is he was not good at all. But they want to give this false narrative that he was a great...
Oh, he said, I'll see you, babe. And he left. And Tenay looks absolutely pissed that he just called him babe. Well, look, we're in the sex locker room. Glenn is yelling at him. See this is what happens when you lose focus. Goldilocks is here. Has Goldilocks joined sex? She's always in this locker room.
No, she's doing her job as a reporter.
I know, but I'm starting to get worried.
She's not going to join sex.
Or this is going to happen all night long as Loki's like on the ground.
Oh, hey, Mike Sanders.
Super Sonny Siaki. Now, mind you, Sonny Siaki and Mike Sanders have not been having a good time together, and Hollywood is there as well.
Yeah, she is. I feel like none of these people have been getting along. What?
It's Russo, Sports Entertainment Stream, no pain, no game. Holy shit.
Why is he talking weird?
Oh, they're censoring him. He said, you think I'm tired of fucking around?
Surprised they censored out the F word.
It must be a pre-tape, like backstage thing or something. Or maybe he just censored himself. Because it wasn't
I've done that.
Holy. He just called Hollywood a little slut.
As they zoom in on her boobs.
Because he's saying, oh, we got some stripper to show her. You got some stripper to show her boobs. So, because what are you just I think he said the tits and ass of Sports Entertainment Extreme, if I'm not hearing that correctly. See, I don't know. He almost sounds like he's sort of censoring himself, but if not, they're definitely cutting the audio out.
I think they're cutting the audio.
Glenn Gilberti seemingly showing that he's the new leader of Sports Entertainment Extreme with Vince Russo gone. That's what they're teasing here on commentary.
Who would you rather have, Gilberti or Siaki as leader?
Siaki. But
I don't know.
But I think that Glenn, if you kind of show last week and you show this week the way he's talking, I kind of like how he's doing in that role. To be honest with you.
Well, I would rather I think Gilberti at this point, just so that if and when sex does fail, it falls on him.
The interrogation with Konnan, Jerry Lynn, punk ass bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, Eric Bischoff, punk ass bitch.
FUBU gear.
He'll leave FUBU for Buff Bagwell and DDP. Eminem or 50 Cent? Eminem. Oh, El Macaris or El Santa? J-Lo or Christina Aguilera? Rey Mysterio Jr. in a league by himself. Main event, AJ Styles or Raven? Oh, he just said your loss against the X Division, your loss record. Oh, he's pissed. Oh.
Okay, now Dallas, he said bullshit. Now, do you think he just censored himself, or is that the audio cutting out?
I don't know.
So during that segment, he was asked Jennifer Lopez or Christina Aguilera, and he proceeded to say, "We should make a home movie and have their faces down and asses up." So
here comes Konnan. It's Konnan and Juvi.
Oh, he's wrestling.
Look at this bright orange fur jacket. The juice. I keep yelling the juice at home, and I haven't gotten many reactions on that yet.
You're just randomly saying the juice.
The juice. Juvi.
You know what?
Yeah,
here,
nothing.
If I were to do that here, you know what would happen? Do you know what would happen?
You'd get just a look, I think. Or no, she'd bring you juice.
Literally, she would bring me cranberry juice. 100%.
Who's Jerry Lynn's partner? Oh, Jason Cross. Okay.
So Jerry's losing.
Well, so Konnan is making his in-ring debut here. Oh, no, he's not. Wait, I lied. Because he appeared in, I believe,
he did wrestle
the Gold. I lied. Oh, my God.
But here's the thing, Dallas.
Yeah.
He just said that it's been 36 weeks. Of TNA programming.
Well, technically, Bob, this is the 37th show. So.
Nope. TNA just said 36. So.
Well, to be fair, 36.
Not renumbering. I am not renumbering.
No, bullshit. You go on Impact Plus's app, which is run by this company.
I don't care.
This is pay-per-view 37.
But they probably have the recap show there, right?
Well, they do, because it counts. It is a pay-per-view.
Right,
however,
it's not original programming.
Well, it is. There's interviews, exclusive interviews.
I'm talking about.
However, shut up. So, however, this is the 36 show that has matches.
Right.
However, Bob, pay-per-view 37 we are watching right now because number 12 is the recap show, and it does count. It was on pay-per-view, and it is listed.
No, it doesn't count.
Well, Jerry Lynn and Hui are starting us off. Now, these guys got heat, brother. But you know what? They're professionals. So, at least Jerry Lynn is. He'll do a job if he's got to. As Hui gives him an arm drag.
I didn't realize that they didn't get along. Because Hui has to get his shit in. Interesting.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. A lot of the TNA stars are world travelers.
Oh, they just slapped hands. That's showing some respect there.
Hey, they're giving us a recap of where some of these guys have wrestled, which Bob gives us every week during our independent news coverage.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if Hui has gotten kind of annoyed, or if he ended up getting annoyed with with his WCW run where he was always kind of like the third most important cruiserweight
I would be annoyed.
behind Ray and Kidman, really. Well, they're just countering each other.
A lot of different
What are
counters.
they
Oh,
here?
Hoovy up on the top here. Oh, reversing into a sunset flip, roll through, going for a pin. Jerry Lynn kicks out, gets him in another cover. Nope, that little weird flippy pin. Oh, 1, 2, nope.
So here's a fun fact about Dallas. If he doesn't know a wrestling move, he just goes, oh.
Well, no, it's going so quick. That is not true.
That's his Vince McMahon. What a maneuver. Oh.
It is not. He's just going quickly. How do you want? I can't call it all. I'll get confused.
Yeah, well, you should.
Listen, I know a lot of moves. I played a lot of video games, and I did a lot of make my own move sets.
You don't know the difference between a spinning heel kick and a spin kick.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah,
And also, what is the difference?
A spinning heel kick is when you're coming off the ropes and you jump and do it. A spin kick is when your foot is pivoted on the ground and you do a spin kick.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
You still hit him with your heel.
Right, but it's a spin kick compared to a spinning heel kick.
To be fair, you're the one who argues with me every week about an axe kick versus a scissors kick when Around Killings does in
That's
fact do
another
an
one.
axe kick.
That's another one.
First off, they're also the
It's
same
a
fucking move.
It's a scissors kick.
No, it's not. It's an axe kick.
You're making a scissors motion with your legs.
But yeah, but he comes down like an axe. Hey, it's Jason Cross with a spinning heel kick.
Spinning heel kick by Jason for a 2 count
Jesus Christ.
on Juventud. See, now I'm glad I gave you that lesson there because you would have been like, here's a spin kick by Jason Cross.
To be fair, he does spin and kick, so it's not completely wrong.
Well, he hits it with his heel, though.
I mean, yeah, I guess. It's just like when we argue about like a headlock and a sleeper. It's the same fucking thing.
For the most part, yeah, that is.
But I know that there's also slightly a difference there. So it's wrestling, okay?
Brainbuster by Jason Cross.
The only good brain busters are on the top rope, but whatever.
That's true.
Hoovy kicks out.
Or by Eddie.
By who?
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, those are good.
I thought you were about to be like, who's that?
No, I didn't hear what you said.
I would have exited out of the call.
What?
Oh,
what the fuck was that?
Fucking God. Was that like a Phoenix Splash thing and he just face planted it?
Yeah, he wasn't even going to come close to Hoovy, but he completely missed it. It was essentially a Phoenix Splash, I believe. Hoovy's walking around, Konnan's like, tag me, and he's like, no, brother, I need to get my shit in.
I get my stuff in.
Pump, hand, oh, no. Jason Cross reverses. Irish whip, Jason Cross comes back. Roll.
I thought he was gonna do a destroyer there.
Drop kick by Hoovy.
Hoovy with a seated dropkick to our good friend here, Jason Cross. Konnan has been in the same position now for about 3 minutes.
Not cheering him on or anything. He's like, tag me the fuck in.
Tag me in. He's like, come on.
He did it. He tagged me in. Here comes Konnan.
Dropkick again. Let's see how Konnan looks. As Tanae mentioned, last time we saw him in action was in June of 2002. Some 9 months ago.
Damn, I forgot he appeared on that show. That's crazy.
I did too.
So I apologize for all the times I posted that he just made his debut because he didn't. Wow, I feel like an idiot now.
That's all right.
That's okay. He still liked the tweet.
You know what? It could be seen as his debut because that could be seen as like the pilot episode. Are we going to get picked up? We don't know yet.
Oh, that's a good point, I guess. I'll accept that as an answer. Look at this wheelbarrow. Oh! He held him up in a full Nelson as Hoovy comes in with a missile drop kick.
Arriba, Mexico.
Orale.
Konnan just said.
Yo, you like this? You like these pants? Go ahead and feel. That's enough.
That's enough.
I'll tell you what, watching WCW 2000, 2001, which I've referenced many times on this show, really made me a fan of the Filthy Animals and Konnan because he'd come out every single show and do that, and I love it. Also, their theme song was phenomenal, and I don't care.
I wonder if that's like, is it dubbed on the network?
The theme song?
Yeah.
No, I think it was their theme song. Filthy, nasty, dirty.
This the way we like
Yeah,
it.
dude, I love that theme song.
Okay.
I'm super into the Filthy Animals.
Well, because I remember, I don't know if it was you or somebody else, but they were like, "Oh, I think it was you actually." And you're like, "Oh, I like Sid's theme music on the network," and it's a
Yeah.
dubbed version of it.
Yeah, that was me, I think. And you showed me
Something
the real one, and I was like, wow, that's actually better.
I like the original.
Oh, pop-up dropkick by Jerry Lynn to Konnan. Hoovy off the ropes. Oh, Jerry Lynn swept the legs, and he essentially pushed Hoovy into a dropkick to Konnan.
Yeah, Conan's probably not going to forget that one.
No. Oh, look at Jerry Lynn up with a monkey flip, but Hoovy, what is happening?
Oh, God.
Holy shit.
Sunset flip powerbomb off of the ropes.
And Jason Cross
Konnan
coming in with a
having-
dropkick.
Yeah, Konnan had Lynn, and then Jason Cross like came out of nowhere to break up. It was almost like, "Hey, I'm here, guys," and he broke up the cover.
Well, Konnan tossing Hoovy out to the outside, essentially crossbodying Jerry Lynn, throwing Jason Cross into the corner, who gets a boot up, coming in with a nice missile dropkick.
I mean, Cross is here to take the fall, right? Like he's not.
I feel like it's got to be. He's calling for the crossfire though. He never hits this move, so is it going to hit it?
He's hit it, or no? I think the one time he almost hit it. Oh my God!
Oh, well, he sort of hit it.
Konnan took that.
I thought, yeah. And the game gets broken up. Wow.
What a ridiculous thing! Konnan actually takes that move, and then
well, look at replay. He almost stepped on his face.
He sure, yeah.
And now that also could have been because Konnan kind of got his arms up because I don't want you to fucking kill me, which I don't blame him at all for.
Right. And well, Don even mentioned if it was a little cleaner, it might have been a different outcome.
Which I always like that kind of stuff. Oh.
What the fuck?
So Hoovy did like a. Do you call that a senton? What do you call that?
He was going for a 450, but he landed his butt on the guy.
I thought it was going to be that's what I was getting at. And then Konnan did the rolling clothesline onto Jerry Lynn, and then he did kind of like an X Factor?
Facebuster, yeah.
Facebuster. And Lynn kicked out. So Hoovy definitely fucked up that 450. I don't know what was happening, but that probably had to hurt a lot because he landed hard.
Yeah, he landed tailbone first there.
Whoa.
Okay.
So Lynn almost did his normal sunset flip out of the corner to get the pin, but Konnan knew what was happening, and then the ref slid out of the ring to count the pin as Konnan then grabbed the ropes. It was kind of a weird position for the ref to be in, but Konnan got the win on Jerry Lynn there, I think.
Yeah, and it's actually believable for him to get away with using the ropes the way they did that.
Oh, for sure. But I do like that because Lynn's been winning a lot with that move or like quick covers. So the way that Konnan he knew that was coming. That was nice by Konnan. The refs, the way he counted was silly to me, but whatever. Mm-hmm. I'll let it slide.
I mean, that match wasn't that bad.
No, I don't think it was bad. It was okay.
There you go. Twerking some more here. With good old Lollipop. Surprised they haven't mentioned that she exposed herself.
I bet you we're not going to hear much about that, except, there's Red taking out Trinity. We're seeing a recap of that. Yeah. They sort of mention it in that backstage segment, but that's probably the only mention we're going to get about that, I think.
Okay. Oh, that's right. They did mention the backstage. We're at 54:38. We're just getting a highlight video here of Kid Kash and Amazing Red and Trinity that, she got hurt.
And there's Storm. Oh my God, dude.
Landing right on top of her. That probably hurt more than the Amazing Red one.
For sure. Look at it. Ready? Oh.
Yeah, there's just no way. Yeah. That's gotta suck. Kid Kash pretty much being an afterthought in this video package.
Which is funny because it was his title match, but understandably.
Yeah, we're focusing on a manager getting hurt.
And then Red's like pushing Trinity, and it was like, what?
Yeah. Which is weird.
To be fair, she's taller than him, so.
Well, you think that's a reason for him to turn heels because a woman's taller than him?
Would it surprise you, honestly?
No.
Okay.
I guess that's a good point.
I'm just saying the pushing thing is sort of funny just because look Look at this, Kid Kash. We just got done watching the video package, and here's Trinity as well.
Well, Goldilocks saying that Trinity has played a key role in Cash's success.
And he's like, hold up. He goes, that's just a wrestling business. You're going to hang with the champ? You're going to have to bite the bullet every now and then. See, he's holding the belt, Kid Kash. Trinity's looking like a badass, standing behind him, arms crossed.
Kind of getting like China vibes from her.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
She does take a couple of looks at the belt, though. That's important.
Well, look, we want to ask Trinity. And Kid Kash says, no, we don't have to ask her anything, actually. Oh, who's this?
Amazing Red.
He licks his lips too much when he talks.
He does. That's probably a nervous tick.
If it wasn't for her, you wouldn't have this belt, he says. Oh, Trinity, you want to be a wrestler?
Oh.
Oh. He wants to wrestle tonight?
Once and for all, they'll eliminate her.
Kid Kash goes, she's a girl. And she's looking at him like, oh, really? He goes, unlike you, I'm a gentleman, you little prick. He said, to get to her, you had to get through him first. That's the only way. Oh, so you want to have a three-way? Well, he said three-way dance, but... Okay, well, so see you in the ring. Sounds like we got a pretty interesting match tonight.
So is he not letting Trinity talk? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, he's sort of turning back into a little bit of a bad guy, I would say.
Yeah, kind of turning a little bit of a dick.
He's turning into the Brian Lawler, if you will.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because we can't go without having some kind of domestic violence on the show.
Who's coming out right now? Oh,
Gilberti and Sanders. Gilberti wearing those ridiculous pants, though.
I was enjoying the show.
Well, you know, it all can't be good, Dallas.
I know. Once we get into 2004, 2005, then it's all good, but...
No, that's not true at all. That's not true.
Listen, I know, okay?
Oh, what's Duggan's wrestling too?
Are you serious?
Okay.
Oh.
They're using what's really funny is that they're definitely using his WCW theme music, and it's probably on a CD in the stereo backstage, and that's why it sounds so muffled.
Yeah, it is very muffled. Now, to be fair, is this just a generic like song that like you could just get the licensing rights to, though? Or is this actually like they made it for WCW for him? You know what I mean? It's like...
I don't know. I'm just saying that they used it in WCW.
Yeah.
Oh.
I literally hate his attire here, these like overalls, because it's weird because even later in his career, significantly older Jim Duggan still wears like he'll wear like shorts.
Right. Like athletic shorts.
Yeah, okay, so which is a fine look. As Glenn and Mike Sanders are attacking him, and it appears that this is supposed to be a tag match, but Hacksaw is just here by himself, and they're just double teaming him.
He's getting mugged on the floor.
And they're saying even his partner wasn't announced, so... Wait. Jeremy Borash says... Okay, he's got no idea.
Oh.
Apparently it's a 2-on-1 handicap match we're hearing. Which, if so, hopefully is less than 5 minutes like it was last time.
Yeah, we just passed the hour mark. 1 hour and 6 seconds.
Well, like you said earlier on, I mean, that was a pretty quick hour, I gotta say.
Well, I would honestly say the first 18 minutes flew by, and then from 18:01 till 1 hour, I was like, okay.
Oh, see, I thought it went by pretty quick. Who's this? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, Moondog Spot, who we saw randomly appear at ringside, is Duggan's partner. He's got his fucking bone.
Now, listen. Now, Bob likes to make jokes that I don't know who Nikita Koloff is. Now, I really don't know who this guy is.
I would not expect you to know Moondog Spot.
He goes, "Is this some kind of sick show today?" He's yelling at Glenn is yelling at him. He goes, "You're an asshole today."
Wow.
Wait, Gilberti's
Oh, he's
leaving.
leaving. All right. This group is over with. They're walking out on each other and everything. Come on.
Moondog's in excellent shape. Oh, he hit him with the bone.
You know what's funny is I think he was that shape in his prime. So
okay,
he is in his prime shape.
Okay, fast count.
Wow.
Fast count by who is it? Andrew Thomas?
Andrew Thomas, yeah. What did Moondog do? Nothing?
He hit him with the bone.
Oh, okay.
Crowd's cheering for him, though.
So he did nothing.
Yeah, he did nothing.
Wow. Well, I'll let you know how the Moondogs are once I get to them in USWA 1992. So okay. I'm about 4 years away from that.
So that's where they're big, USWA?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Moondog Spot did have a run in WWF, but it wasn't of substance.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just gonna say, did him and Hacksaw even like cross paths at all? Because that seems like a weird team if they didn't even like know who each other are.
Yeah, I don't think they really overlapped anywhere.
Yeah, see, that's weird to me then.
That other dancer, that was the first time we saw her all show.
Yeah. Oh, we're standing by with the church. Goldilocks. That's father. Look at this. Look at this fucking group. Okay.
Father James Mitchell should have been like, I'm daddy.
Oh, she said, but you shocked the world with malice and all this, but you didn't walk out with the titles. Mitchell says, it's all by design. It's all part of the plan.
Well, they don't work for Russo because he's not there. He went home. Oh, let me give you some more bad advice since you like it.
Show up next week and accept our challenge for an S&M match. Sadistic Madness 8-man tag team match. A new member of the church to decimate SEX. He said, okay, we're going to go make the challenge ourselves.
So what are they doing? Are they going to go to the locker room?
Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm interested because we have a new member of the new church coming. Now, that being said, we've also seen some very bad members of the new church, such as, what's that guy's name? Cobain,
yeah. Flash
we like Tempest. What if he came back? That'd be pretty cool.
Tempest, yeah.
I don't think it's time for any other, we got a couple big guys. We don't need a monster in the group. Not yet, so.
No. I would say Vampiro.
No way.
That's what I would say.
Dude, if they bring in Vampiro right now, I'm down.
Trinity actually gets her own entrance here.
But she is the mistress of the Hurricane Rana if she's doing that same taunt as...
The mistress?
I don't know. It's an M. I just thought the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah, mistress would mean she's having an affair.
Well, she kind of is with the master. So, in a way.
Oh, my God.
Oh. First pin wins. All three are in.
Wait, is this a title match?
Yeah, it is. This is an X Division title match.
Wow.
And it's not like a gauntlet rules like it was kind of let on to be.
No, all three people are going at the same time.
When the bell rings, the man in charge, Rudy Charles, who I most notably see holding the turkey outfit in the turkey trot.
So this is what I would do. I would have Trinity win the belt here. I'd have her pin red. So Kash would do the moneymaker. And then Trinity would somehow dump him to the floor or something. And then she'd hit the moonsault on red. 1, 2, 3. Trinity's your champ. And then Kash would just flip out. And then you have a feud there. And I never, for the most part, I've never liked a woman holding a male dominant belt. But I think Trinity holds up very well in the X division.
I do. I agree, man. I think this is definitely something that could work out really well. And I think, and I guess as we kind of have gone on in time, I think the X Division belt is one that I think that makes sense for women's wrestlers to kind of dip into a little bit. And Impact has continued to kind of tease that a little bit here and there. And of course, eventually, I think Tessa Blanchard ended up winning it. And then they've teased like Jordan Grace winning it. And
she won the X Division belt?
I'm almost positive that Tessa Blanchard won the X Division title.
I was fine with her winning the world title when she did against Sammy. I think that was the last Impact match I actually watched.
Yeah, I like that stuff. I thought it
just
was
because I wanted to witness history. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, it was nuts. And here we go. Kash and Red starting us off. Trinity's just kind of standing over there. I hope.
Oh, well, she ain't standing there no more.
Wow.
Jesus.
Okay. Up and over from Kash, and Amazing Red just landed a nasty drop kick on Trinity. And here he goes. Oh, he's diving in with an elbow. Springboard elbow. I thought he was going to go for a moonsault to Trinity on the outside, to be honest with you.
I think we've learned our lesson with the dives to the floor onto Trinity.
You wait. It's about to happen in a second.
They don't tend to end well.
Duck on the line by Red. Going for back suplex. No, he did like a front facing.
1, 2, but Red kicks out. Oh man, what is he doing here?
What's this?
He's just switching to a Boston Crab.
Like an elevated one, essentially.
Yeah, looks like it.
Slamming up Red. He used to do that move early on. He hasn't done that in a while. Trinity's still out on the floor.
Yeah, he pulled Red through his legs just to then like kind of slam him down. Trinity's still wiped out after a drop kick. I wonder if this is just mostly going to be a Kash versus Red thing.
I feel like it is, which is sort of disappointing because I'd rather kind of her get in it a little bit more.
Yeah. Red kicks Kash in the face in the corner and then rolls over his back, standing Red Star press. But Kash kicks out too.
People in the crowd are yelling like, Trinity, get in the ring. Like, it looked like they were yelling toward her direction.
Oh, she's taking forever. I think she oversold the dropkick, personally.
Oh, so do I. I mean, it was a nasty dropkick. Here we go. Oh my.
Jesus Christ.
Well, Kid Kash gets Irish whipped into her, and she fucking flies off the apron.
Now, see, this is annoying. This feels as if it's like a bait and switch.
I agree. It definitely does feel like that, man. Because I want to see Trinity wrestle here. Look how hard. Boom.
Yeah.
The replay there.
That ain't good. On that cover that we just saw, I didn't really see Kash touch the bottom rope.
Oh, I didn't notice.
I don't know if it was a bad camera angle or something. Kash fine Red with some right hands as well. Kash on his knees.
So this is interesting because Red was like, I want to fight Trinity, and Kash was like, okay, you got to get through me, but knock Kid Kash out and then go get Trinity if you want to fight her. And then I could see Kash trying to stop him and such, but you could go and try to get her. She's on the floor. Oh, Kash looking like he's about to do his like coast to coast springboard flippy dropkick move. Yeah,
somersault dropkick. Yeah,
that looks like it's got to hurt him more than Red though.
Well, it would hurt. Yeah, I think it would hurt Kash more. He's doing a back bump.
And then like sort of kicking.
Yeah. Well, if you look at it, he lands before he kicks.
Yeah. Although
unlike that was Shane McMahon, who like flows perfectly and kicks him.
Well, that was one of the best camera angles we've gotten because usually they try to hide the fact that they don't know if he can like get all the way there. Yeah. Look at this. Swinging neckbreaker, picks him back up, dropping him down on the knee. Red barely kicked out there. Trinity, get in the ring. She's like, I'm good. I'm good.
She's really milking it. Oh, my shoulder hurts after I got knocked off the apron.
Yeah, well, my shoulder hurts because I slept wrong. But you know what? We can't all be happy. We got to move on with our day. We got to get into the match and we got to win that title.
Oh, red crotch and Kash on the top turnbuckle.
Oh, punching him in the face. Ooh. Oh, is this gonna be a top rope Hurricane Rana? Oh, low blow that Red barely sells.
Oh God, what's he gonna do?
No! Oh no!
Not a top rope moneymaker.
Hurricane Rana.
Hurricane Rana counters a power bomb attempt.
I don't know, dude. I was super nervous that Kash was gonna slip or something backwards.
Yeah, that stuff is dangerous, man. I would try to avoid that at all costs. Boom.
Luckily, Red weighs what, 50 pounds. So.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, Red going up to the top rope. Is he gonna hit the end for Red? Is he gonna win the X Division title? No. Here comes Trinity. Oh, a nice kick to Red, who falls down. Now Trinity is going to, I'm assuming, go for a moonsault, right?
Well, the way that she's standing, no.
No, yeah. Yes, the mistress of the Hurricane Rana hits a beautiful one on Amazing
The head scissors.
It's the same thing. Tornado DDT.
Oh, nice.
She's doing Kid Kash's like finishing setup here.
Yeah, she is actually kind of.
Tilt-a-whirl head scissors. See, got it right that time. There, you happy? All right, Red down. Trinity climbing, maybe very, very slowly. She's favoring her knee and lower back. Oh, she sort of gets crashes. Kid Kash. Oh,
a rolling German.
Oh,
that pins him. So that's interesting. She was going to the top for the moonsault, and Kash, shoving Red into the ropes, crotched her, and then hit the rolling German for the win.
Yeah, he's definitely getting more cocky again.
Yeah, I can sense a slow build here for a Kash Trinity showdown.
Okay, I'm down.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, Goldilocks. We're going to try to interview Jeff Jarrett. Now, we know he doesn't like to talk. He's always in this broom closet.
Is it locked?
No, there's yelling. Dusty just pushed through.
She's saying that Jarrett and D'Lo were in there yelling at each other. Where's my title shot, Jeff? I've been here for 7 days. Oh, great video package.
Let's go to the package. Okay, what can we talk about during this video package? I don't know.
Dusty told Lawler, "You're the king of these nuts." And you hit him with a bunch of elbows.
I wanted to bring up Puppet doing jerking off in a trash can again.
No.
He brings it up every time he can when he gets a chance.
Yeah, but we don't need a constant reminder of that. They're just basically explaining us why this match is happening. Because they all brawled in the ring. Basic 101 booking for these matches.
Well, yeah. So that's how you know.
All right, Lawler's got a chair. I wonder if he was able to take that chair from that fan in the front row that he previously had problems with.
Oh, I missed them.
Back to lollipop dancing here. Next generation.
Oh, God. Look at Eric Watts' pants.
Yeah, they're not good. He's got rope.
It's a noose. And David Flair has the NWA title, that weird replica one or whatever it is. We don't really know what it is.
Does he have 3 nooses then?
Oh, was it 3 of them? Watts, Flair,
well, he had
Waller.
one in his hand, one over his neck.
G Master.
Grandmaster Sexy. bogus belt today. He's telling Flair about the replica.
Apparently his father's.
Yeah. For David Flair. Yeah, Ric Flair.
Which, I mean, obviously makes sense, but I don't think they never said it, though, did they?
I mean, that's what I was assuming.
Yeah. But, like, why has he got
Flair
it with
did
him?
have it. D'Lo Brown. You're looking at the real deal now.
He's about to make his
Sweet.
in-ring debut. D-Lo.
Just
That's
known
right.
as D'Lo.
D-Lo.
How can he wasn't known as D'Lo Brown before he worked out WWF. I'm surprised that he has the name.
That's a really good point.
Dusty Rhodes. I can't wait for the superstar entrance of Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite.
Dusty
Especially when
Rhodes.
it's coming after Dusty Rhodes, who just got a generic.
Generic entrance comes out.
Yeah, it's a basic 4 entrance on a video game.
Yeah, dude, that was wicked generic.
Hey, D'Lo. Hey, Dusty. Great. Next generation just hanging out on the floor. Now, if I were them, I would attack Jarrett when he comes out.
Now, years later in Global Force Wrestling, doesn't Jeff Jarrett make a next generation, like a next gen championship? I believe that was like their, like kind of like their X Division title.
I think you're right.
And Cody Rhodes held it.
Oh, of course he did. Did Cody ever challenge for the TNA belt?
I can't remember.
I don't think he did.
My world.
It's my world.
Jarrett got he came out pretty quick. He's ready to fight. Definitely still superstar. I mean, every color light they got the budget for, and which is blue and green, if you have to know. They only have 2 color lights. And
I feel like he's excited to wrestle against the top competition of next generation.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite the matchup here. We've been waiting a long time for this, the whole 2 weeks. And it's...
whole 2 weeks.
And, we're ready to see Lawler back in action. I'm dying to see Eric Watts wrestle, especially with this weird noose. Let's just do it, man.
I'm pretty sure it's more than just one.
I think it's just one long noose.
Oh, it's just one long one?
That's what it looked like. I don't know where he's going to hang it, over the rafter, I guess. What's he going to do, hang Jarrett? I don't know.
You know what you did.
Well, 2 NWA titles. Which one's which? Don't mix them up. Tanae's over there swapping them.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. That's a ladder match waiting to happen.
Yeah, I mean, why not? So, crowd's chanting pretty loud for D'Lo here, as him and Brian Lawler are starting us off, which I'm actually pretty surprised that D'Lo is starting us off. Just starting off here with a headlock, as Lawler pushing him against the rope with an Irish whip. Comes back with a shoulder takedown. Lawler up as D'Lo gets under here. Going for a back suplex. No, atomic drop.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, so I'm pretty surprised D'Lo's starting us off here, but I thought they would have waited for that big pop of like getting him in the ring, but saving that for Dusty probably.
I would be surprised. I mean, D'Lo's probably out of the 3, the least star power.
Well, yeah, but like getting excited for like seeing him wrestle after they were excited he made his debut. I don't know. I could see them wanting to be like, hey, we'll get the hot tag from like Jarrett or something. The audience would have popped for that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if Jarrett doesn't get the final hot tag.
Well, that is Jarrett, so.
Well, everything's about him. Everything revolves around it. Spinebuster by D'Lo Brown. Are you down with the Brown?
I don't know yet. Haven't decided. I'm open to it, okay?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. As long as you're open to it. Set out powerbomb there.
Well, because I also, as David Flair breaks up the pin there, I don't know if I have a reason to not be, to be honest. He's just one of those guys who is just kind of there for me.
Well, I mean, I get that. D'Lo Brown to me is probably the ultimate mid-carder.
I mean, I can see that.
D'Lo on fire. He's got David Flair now.
Who ducks the line and then comes back with a, what's that, Bob? Call the move for.
That's a heel kick.
Okay, that was a heel kick. Not a spinning one. He's just a heel kick. He didn't spin.
Yeah, there's a flapjack. 1, 2. No, Eric Watts with the save there. I think, is Dusty Rhodes' shirt inside out or what?
I mean, very well could be.
Ooh. D'Lo with a focusing on the leg there of Eric Watts. The legs of a Louisville college football star quarterback.
Now, Eric Watts is, talk about underrated here, right? Look at him. He's a star. What he does a choke slam, which is one of his 2 moves.
That's right. Lawler doing his hyena laugh.
Dude, if I was in the Asylum, I'd just yell the whole time, "Where's April?" Just to piss him off.
You know what? I feel like that would work 100%.
Because at first it was like Jerry's kid, but now it's like we're past even the April thing. So now it's like even funnier to be like, "Where's your girlfriend that was apparently in the shower with Bruce, who's gay?"
Right.
And then where's Priscilla? Where's your dad's ex-girlfriend? I don't know. There's a lot to unpack.
I wonder why they dropped the April deal.
I don't know.
Because there's no real conclusion to that.
No, and there wasn't really a. I guess the conclusion was Bruce being like, I'm Alan Funk, and I guess I'm going home. And it's like, okay.
I'm never coming back. Okay, Lawler's taunting the fans for chanting for D'Lo. Oh, told him to basically stick it. Yeah, D'Lo's been in this match the entire time for his team. Oh, okay.
I'm pretty surprised. But, it gets him... People were excited as Lawler with a running clothesline to D'Lo. And he's all excited. He's like, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, whoa, whoa.
If I was Jeff Jarrett, I'd tell D'Lo, you're wanting this title match. I don't know if you saw, but you were having a hard time with Brian Lawler and David Flair. You might want to get at the end of the line there, pal.
I'm going to make a prediction, okay?
Yeah.
And I think I'm wrong, and I hope I'm wrong.
Okay.
But I could give it a little bit of time, and I could see Jarrett joining these guys.
Joining Next Generation?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, God.
I think and hope I'm wrong. However, I could see it happening.
I mean, it would make sense considering he is a second-generation wrestler. But...
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting. And then they're going to bring in young Cody. Or no, sorry, Dustin. We'll just bring Dustin. We don't need Cody.
Bring in Dustin, yeah.
Bring in Dustin. This is pre-Black Rain, though, so he won't be too pissed yet.
Right.
Which I just tell you right now, when we get there, I am not tagging him in no Black Rain posts because he will block us.
Oh, yeah.
He does not like Black Rain.
Well, that was a really dark part of his life.
Which I understand. So
you can still post about Black Rain, just don't directly tag him.
No, we aren't tagging Dustin.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because when you go watch the Black Rain stuff, it's very evident that was the worst part of his life.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, but it's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah. His body is basically the body of that girl from Willy Wonka when she eats the piece of gum.
Oh my God! I thought someone was coming. Flavor. Yeah, the blueberry one. I thought someone was coming out, but it was the cameraman, and I was like, wait, who is that? But it's really just the cameraman in the way. Oh, they're chanting Jerry's kid. I guess that's still a thing.
He's also wearing Echo pants.
Yeah.
And it's not Rob Echo.
Oh, D'Lo.
The brand. Oh.
Essentially kidding a catatonic on him.
That is pretty much a can of
I mean, he
Fox.
sat down differently, but that's what it was.
Yeah.
That spinning there is that Don West says. Can we get Jarrett in? Or is Dusty going to get in? Who is it? Okay, his shirt is definitely inside out. There's a tag.
Yeah, I mean, you can just tell it is. Maybe there was a logo or something that he couldn't be wearing.
Yeah, it probably is.
Oh,
There's Jarrett.
oh, okay. Jarrett does get the tag first.
Crowd's kind of excited. He probably
Yeah,
wants...
but not nearly as much as probably Dusty.
Oh. Enzuigiri to David Flair.
Well, did you see we kicked David Flair and he literally kept his foot on his chest so that Dave would
Yes.
block it?
Yes. Drop kick to Brian Lawler. Now, you said that D'Lo is the ultimate mid-carder. Is Jarrett not the ultimate main eventer? I mean, look at this. He's a star. He's held multiple world titles. He's Jeff Jarrett.
No.
Dusty with the elbow.
He's not even the legal man. This is ridiculous. D'Lo Brown is your ultimate like European champion, and then Jeff Jarrett's your ultimate intercontinental champion.
Yeah. My main event thing was a joke, but...
Yeah, I know. And then
David
Eric
Flair-
Watts is your local flea market champion.
Yeah, Eric Watts is not great.
Eric Watts is the type of guy that would be the champion of a company that uses a WWF replica belt and then sticks their own little logo over it.
Jarrett dunking a double clothesline to Lawler and Flair. He's going for the stroke on Flair. Is he going to hit it? Oh,
No. Oh, he did.
He did, as D'Lo pulled Lawler out. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! I didn't think that was
Clean
going to
win for-
happen.
Yeah, clean win for Jarrett. Dusty pretty much did nothing legally.
No, dude. D'Lo's excited to win, but he's pointing at Jarrett like, "You're next, dude."
Yeah, he's got like he's got mixed feelings. Like, yeah, we won, but I'm gonna fucking get you.
Oh shit!
Oh, Ron Killings.
Oh wait, he's happy for him.
He's gonna turn on him.
No, he's not. Look, he's happy.
He's gonna
Oh, this
turn
is great.
He's gonna turn on him.
No, he's not.
He's gonna turn on him.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I fucking knew it, dude.
Wait, Dusty's like, hey, what are you doing? Oh God.
He's not a
damn it.
second generation wrestler.
He is now.
What is this?
He hit
Front suplex.
Truth and Consequences, I believe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wait, so oh boy. He's got that news. You're right. It was just one big news. He's gonna kill Jeff Jarrett.
What? Jarrett's trying to run away, but now he's got essentially a 6-foot-long leash on him.
Yeah. Oh. Right by the announcer's table that will not break.
No, it's never going to break. And there's our stage coordinator over there who got knocked out weeks ago. We were not supposed to be wrestling near them, but
Yeah, she's probably having like a panic attack. Are they? Oh my no, they're not going to do what I think they're going to do.
you think they're going to throw him off the balcony?
Yeah,
And he's got the noose around his neck?
yeah.
Okay. Well, he's
That
hitting
would
with a
probably
trash
be
can.
that would probably be a bit much.
Well, they got to kill him. Oh, wait. Hold on. It looks like you're actually going toward the doors.
Yeah.
Are we about to go outside? Yeah. And look at this. Lawler is attacking
Lawler.
Dusty with the...
Hip hop drop. Leg drop off the top rope. I'm getting bad vibes for what they're doing with Jarrett. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, but bad
I-
and like...
I didn't really think Killings was gonna turn on him. He's put him in the trunk.
Wait, what is this? Okay, he's just putting... He just put the end of the noose, the rope part, into the truck, shut the door, and Jarrett's on the outside. It's essentially like a Hummer limo. It looks like
Yeah.
he's stalling though. He's stalling.
I bet you someone's in the car tying it. Because if you just put it in there like that, it would fall out. Right?
I think, but it depends how tight it is. Wait, who's this? He's throwing
No,
that limo driver.
That's Konnan. Oh no, it wasn't.
He was revving the engine a little, but he stopped, and there's a light to make sure we can see everything that's happening. Here. So he's teasing. Okay. He's like, Jeff, it's better than that. Did you really think I was going to do that? I'm in your mind. I'm in your head. And he's got something better, he says.
I was going to say, if they were to do that, that would probably be crossing the line.
And now they're just getting in the limo, but the driver has to get back in. What is this? Oh, here comes the New Church, who look like they're about to make their challenge to Sports Entertainment Extreme for that 8-man tag match next week.
Although, didn't AEW just do something?
They dragged Darby Allin while he was in a body bag.
Okay, so it wasn't wrapped around his neck.
No.
Oh.
No one's there, but here's Triple X. They attack him from behind and the Harris brothers and Glenn, and there's a brawl within the Sports Entertainment Extreme locker room here. Well, they got plenty of members, so... Oh, Hollywood's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, she's out. She's laughing. She must have, or they must have been watching the TV when New Church was like, let's go tell them about the challenge.
Yeah, I would say. Sports Entertainment Extreme is really beating the ass of the New Church here.
Yeah, this is backfired on New Church.
They just threw Brian Lee out, and they threw Slash out. And here's security to do nothing. They got Malice. 6-on-1. Sonny Siaki left the room.
Yeah, he's
Glenn's yelling. They threw Malice out. Oh, he just told Sonny to get in the ring with Hollywood because he wants to see some tits.
Well, you know, if they're censoring F words and stuff, I doubt we're gonna see boobs.
Yeah, we had 1 week where we were a little R-rated, and now we gotta slow it down a little. By the way, if you're following along here as they're walking to the ring, we're at 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 15 seconds. So Hollywood's in the ring. She's like, yeah, do you like my business casual attire? Do you like my heels? Do you like my boobs showing?
Oh, Athena.
Athena running at Hollywood. We're about to get a cat
boy.
fight again with Athena and Hollywood. Now, Hollywood is guaranteed a stripper, 100%.
I would have to guess, yeah.
Great camera angles of Sonny Siaki's pants as these two are just rolling around in the ring. Now, if we remember last week, Lollipop and Hollywood rolled around the ring until boobs came out. So if this is any indication, boobs might come out.
I don't think we're gonna get.
No, I don't think so
nudity
either,
again. Here.
No, I don't either. But
they're just rolling around here. Siaki's in there trying to.
JB's like, oh my god.
She is going after her shirt. Athena is. Oh.
If JB's smart, he'd start taking his jacket off now just to be safe.
Yeah, probably.
Sonny Saki's telling Athena to rip Hollywood's shirt off.
But she doesn't want to do it.
He goes, it doesn't matter whose boobies we see.
Like an 8-year-old.
Wow. Oh!
Oh boy.
She just slapped the shit out of Sonny Siaki. Now, if this is any indication, we know how this goes. Siaki's probably going to do something to her.
Yeah, she's probably not going to be leaving the ring standing.
Hold my mic.
Yeah. Yeah, great.
Yeah, here we go.
That was.
Kick her in the gut.
Yeah.
Oh no! Is he going to do Siacalypse now?
Yeah. Jesus.
Okay, well.
So she's dead.
Wait, who's that?
Who's this guy?
David.
Okay, David Young. Great. Woo. Where were you when he put her up for the move, dude?
Damn, I don't know why. I just got super hype, and then there we go. It's David Young.
Day late and $1 short. You know who probably should have came out there? D'Lo Brown.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about a Siaki David Young match.
Mixed tag, baby. Hollywood and Siaki
Oh,
versus David Young and Athena.
That sounds even worse.
Wow. Okay, so we're at Mike Tenay and none of us at the table on the house, Mike. So usually this is where we do our hype up for our next week's show. What's the deal with that Eric Watts? Playing mind games with Jeff Jarrett as he puts a noose around his neck and tries to drag him across state line.
But he doesn't want to go to jail because he's smarter than that.
America, love it or leave it, support our troops. We're about to go to war tomorrow, so get ready.
Literally.
They gave out American flags, you can tell, because all these kids and everyone has like little American flags.
Well, yeah, when you have Hacksaw Jim Duggan on your show and you're going to war, you have to do that.
Harris Brothers and whoever are fighting the New Church next week.
He said Triple X, didn't he?
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Jerry Lynn and Konnan 1-on-1 next week.
And now they're just promoting the ladder match here.
No disqualification.
Will be a winner. Well, there wasn't a disqualification last week. It was just a double pin. That's right. Gotta climb the ladder. I feel like Don West forgot it was a ladder match.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, let's take a look at the history of when AJ Styles was like, "You don't have heroin needles in your arm, Raven?" That's nice.
Jesus.
That's a weird. Well, oh.
I like the fan sign that said, "I heart AJ Styles."
Well, yeah.
Oh, this is quite the package.
This is more of a package for like AJ and Jarrett. Well, now it's turning into Raven.
Oh, shit. We're going to a rave now.
It's definitely
8 steps between heaven and hell.
What?
That's what this is advertised
What
as.
does that mean?
This ladder, I think. You're going to go to heaven or hell.
Last
I don't
week,
know.
Raven's like, "That's your title." And Jarrett's like, "Yeah, I know." Oh, just seeing some highlights from the match between Styles and Raven. Which, I mean, wasn't a bad match, but the double pin's a bit annoying. Oh, even flow. Another referee bump. That's fun. See now notice how they edit how Raven scooted himself over to do the pin?
Well, you got to.
Yeah.
Jarrett's like, what? What do you mean they both won? What?
I've never seen that before.
2 contenders,
Aside
1
from the
ladder.
Ladder match, or the tag title match.
Call it the Raven. Nevermore.
Raven Styles. 8 steps you can heaven and hell. Are there 8 steps on a ladder? Is that what they're trying to get
If
at?
it's an 8-foot ladder, I guess that's it.
I don't know. Main event here starting. The entrance is starting here at 139.41. Oh, there you go. Raven coming through the crowd, which would still mean he's part of sex.
So,
I would assume, unless he just came from his nest.
which you could also make an assumption of.
Yeah. I feel like he's not part of sex at this point.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. All right. So he's definitely not part of it. Once Russo left, it's been mostly the second fiddle guys. Here comes AJ.
As Raven sits in the corner, there is a trash can in the ring.
Yep. A hardcore ladder match, essentially, but I feel like a ladder match is usually just a hardcore match with a ladder anyway.
Yeah, I feel like generally in TNA's history, like ladder matches, like they kind of have one ladder. It's not like WWE where you need 20 or 30.
Right. Like the entire stage is covered with ladder. Oh, he tagged him from the floor.
From behind as Raven was sitting in the corner, yeah.
That would explain why they didn't go to the aisle for the entrance there.
And now he's just hitting Raven with a trash can. He's probably going to get busted open pretty early here, if I had to take a guess.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Another trash can here. He's putting Raven inside of it. Raven's kind of stopping, but he gets a little kick to the head there.
Oh, it's true. Styles was in a hardcore match with Sandman for about 6 minutes or whatever it was. Come on, AJ.
They're saying that was his only hardcore match. Now, Styles was in that triple threat ladder match, wasn't he? Against like Lynn and Loki, wasn't he? Or no?
Yes.
And he had one with Jerry Lynn too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not a hardcore match. This is a ladder match.
That's true. But this is a ladder match. Look at this.
Oh, nice. Springboard moonsault there onto the ladder on Raven. So, Dallas, since Styles already had a title match, I'm assuming, and you're a Raven fan, I'm assuming you're rooting for Raven here?
I'm absolutely rooting for Raven, and I think it makes sense.
I think so as well. I feel like it's a foregone conclusion that that's what you're going to do. You have to do that. That's why I feel like as if they shouldn't have done Jarrett Styles when they did it. Because then there'd be more doubt.
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, look at Styles using Raven's tricks against him, giving him a drop toe hold onto a steel chair.
If only that hasn't happened in every single Raven match ever.
Stop. It's Raven's trick.
It's Raven's trick that he always has happened to him.
Stop it. You don't talk bad about my favorite wrestler.
Oh, no.
Oh.
DDT onto the chair. By Styles.
He's using more of Raven's tricks. Styles setting up the ladder here, but he's about to win. What's going to happen in the last 15 minutes of the show?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to climb up it very slowly, even though nothing's happened to him.
What do you mean? As he's like looking like at his like glory, he's like, oh, I don't know, dude. He's climbing up there pretty quick, and it's only a contract. But Raven threw a chair at him.
That knocked him down pretty good.
Now, what happens if you only pull the contract but not the full clipboard? Do you still win?
Why do I feel like I've seen a finish like that before? Where like, somebody pulled down like the
just the paper?
No, like just the clipboard or something. Something stupid like that. And then people they were like, "Oh, well, he didn't grab the belt or didn't grab the contract." Yeah, it was bound to happen there. Raven with the ladder around his head and then whacked Styles in the face.
And by the way, Raven is busted open.
Of course he is. Have you seen Raven's forehead in 2021?
I haven't stared at it because he's kind of old and like wrinkly now anyway.
Yeah,
but
well, it's basically similar to Dusty Rhodes. You see, what you should be doing is doing it by your hairline.
Well, yeah.
Which, I mean, would kind of suck anyway, because if you were to lose your hair, you would probably see it at that point.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Raven just jamming the ladder into Styles while he's in the corner.
Nearly unbeatable. Don West is saying that Raven's nearly unbeatable in hardcore matches. In fact, he's lost quite a bit of them, but that's okay.
Well, not here in TNA.
He's like a 58-time WWF hardcore champion, so he's lost quite a bit.
I believe it's actually 29, but...
Well, 58 sounds better. Oh, boy. What is this? Styles in like a tree of woe, but he's on the apron.
And Raven's got the ladder on the middle rope, and he just got hit, and look, he just fell. Oh. He fell, and his legs caught in between the ladder, and he fell off the middle rope with the ladder on his legs.
Yep.
Now, you can see how the ladder's... I'm definitely going to see like a slingshot, right?
No, that wasn't as good as it should have been.
No, but I always get nervous after seeing the Joey Mercury incident.
Oh, my God.
So, dude, slingshots freak me out.
Yeah. No, that's bad. Oh. And the fact that he continued to wrestle.
Dude.
Like, no.
That was bad. Just hitting Raven in the head with the trash can lids. We've just crossed the hour, 45 minute, and well, now we're at 54 seconds.
Ooh. Don West noting that Styles was using the handle side of the trash can lid.
That's a good note.
Was he?
I think he was, yeah. At least one of them.
That's gotta hurt.
Raven is pouring the blood as Styles slowly climbs up the ladder.
Styles, if he reaches the contract and wins the title, he could potentially quit his landscaping job. Leaps off the ladder for a hurricanrana. Crowd like that.
TNA. There's the contract.
It's about 3 pages long. How is it that long? Shouldn't it just be like Jeff Jarrett, winner of match, sign here?
Well, there's lots of stipulations. You will not fight Jeff Jarrett for at least 7 weeks.
Oh, okay.
When you fight Jeff Jarrett, there may be people ringside. Oh! Raven taking Styles off the ladder and essentially turning him around, landing him onto the top rope.
Gut first.
Okay, Raven's got a staple gun.
Oh, that's great. Where's New Jack? Are there staples in it, you think?
Yeah, definitely staples.
Probably not. I feel like AJ Styles is not taking a staple gun to the forehead.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I did not expect to see on the show was a staple gun.
Ugh. I mean, even if I know there's no staples in it, just the thought of someone shooting a staple into my skull doesn't sound appealing.
No. Oh, wailing Styles on top of the head.
Is AJ bleeding yet from the staple gun or what?
Well, the staples didn't get pulled out, so I'd say no.
You would still be bleeding.
Dude, Raven is bleeding so much. He just used it and pulled and like slicked his hair back with his own blood.
Because it's like not even on his forehead. It looks like it's on the top of his head too.
Dude, it's nasty. There's a table set up ringside, which was already there, but Raven kind of readjusted. Russian leg sweep into the guardrail to AJ Styles.
Yeah, the right side of Raven's head is just red.
Yeah.
So he must have got busted up from something.
Ooh, a super kick by Styles to Raven. It's funny because Raven, like, his hair's not wet this week. It's like dry, so it's poofy. And then the other side is just slicked down with blood.
Yeah.
It's quite the look. I think Styles is going to go for like a 450 here.
That's what I'm thinking too. Dallas, are you trying to tell me that if I were to shoot myself in the head with a staple gun, that I wouldn't be bleeding until I take the staple out?
Yeah. It's kind of like if, like, I feel like if you get stabbed, like, it doesn't pour blood until you pull the knife out.
Oh my God, this guy.
That's why you're supposed to leave the knife in.
Okay, so what if I were to get shot? I wouldn't be bleeding until the bullet's out, right?
No, that makes a hole. It doesn't keep it from the outside.
Okay.
Look at this.
Oh no, AJ.
Oh my God.
Well, Raven put Andrew Thomas on him while on the table, and AJ, clearly seeing this, still was just like, all right, I'll hit a top rope leg drop onto both of you guys through the table.
Look, Raven does take the blunt of that, luckily.
He did.
But damn, that was cool.
You can see Raven's got a pool of blood next to him.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
Well, it's actually on the left of him. That's weird, because it's on the right side of his body.
He was laying there, I think, right before.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he was laying right there before he got up there. It's all over the table, though. Don't get
it's a pool.
He cut a little too deep, and Styles is in the ring looking like he's about to climb the ladder. I think we're definitely going to get some fucking happening in a second, but... Okay, Styles is fucking I'm Gilberti.
Wait, AJ blocks it, kicks Gilberti away.
This insinuates that Raven is in fact with sex still, though.
It would. What is he doing? Gilberti's. I didn't even know that was there.
Okay, so there's a table ringside. Gilberti powerbound him outside of the ring through the table. Wow.
Yeah, you can see Gilberti was looking for it to make sure that he did it right.
Hey, good for him for that, though. He's trying to protect
Yeah,
him.
you don't want to kill him like Kevin Nash almost killed Eric Bischoff. Oh my God, look at his back.
Dude,
That's where all the blood was dripping down. And then on the table is just like blood everywhere.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, he is. Holy shit. You can put this up there in the most covered in blood I've seen someone.
Yeah.
Wait, Raven's repositioning the ladder. Styles is, he's knocked out cold.
Yeah, this is probably it. He ain't moving.
Okay, well, Raven got the contract. Crowd cheers, no bell. There it is.
He doesn't have the clipboard.
He doesn't have the clipboard. Whatever.
That's right.
Sign it with your blood.
That's what I was just gonna say. Sign it with your blood, dude.
Okay, so Raven gets a shot at Jeff Jarrett.
Styles is bleeding, by the way.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. It's just covered by his bangs.
Wow.
Raven wins. He's the #1 contender. Ravens rules. Well, the crowd's not really wasting time. They're just heading out.
Oh, no, they're booking it. You can tell nothing else is going to happen, though, I think, with Raven just dead in the ring. Holy shit, look at that visual. Staple gun next to a pile of blood, him holding the contract knocked out. I mean, that's nice. There's the tape that was holding the contract on the clipboard.
Yeah, and that's it. So the runtime for that was 152.48. So where are we at for that one there, Dallas?
I don't know, man. I enjoyed that show, I think. Overall, I think that was a pretty good show. Now don't get me wrong. We had our dips. No doubt about it. But I think this show left us a lot to look forward to for next week. And I think that, to me, puts it on thumbs up category. And I really enjoyed that ladder match at the end of the show. That was a pretty good match.
I think I'm going to go thumbs in the middle.
I think that's fair. I think there's definitely a lot of reasons to feel that way. I just think we obviously had the tag team title match, which wasn't like mind blowing, but it was not a bad match once we kind of opened with it. I'm looking forward to Jerry Lynn and Konnan facing off next week, and I think that tag match was a fun tag match between all those guys. Red and Kash and Trinity, I think, kind of left a little to be desired because I wanted to see Trinity more.
Yeah.
But, like, I still enjoyed the match. And then the main event for me, I mean, easily the best match on the show. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. And I feel like this show went quick. I don't feel like we just sat here for 2 hours watching that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the first 20 minutes was pretty quick. There was a lull for about 40 minutes, but then the second hour that flew by because that's where the stronger matches were at.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I mean, I think that giving it a thumbs in the middle is kind of appropriate. I can't go a full thumbs up on it. Listen,
I understand, and I think that last match for me is really what kind of put me there. But I mean, if that match sucked, if we got the finish like we did last week or something, I couldn't say thumbs up.
Yeah.
But because I enjoyed that match, I think that match was really, really good. And that not only that, but we also furthered stuff. We had some other decent matches. I think that allows me to be like, okay, I think that this kind of can put us into that category. I think it was one of the better shows we've seen in a couple of weeks. I mean, in general, we haven't both gave it a thumbs up since like week 32 or pay-per-view 32. Wow. So to be on 37, I mean, we were in the middle for a bunch since then, but I felt like pretty good about this show, and I'm looking forward to what's next. I'm curious where D'Lo goes kind of from here too. Obviously, we know he's going to get a world title shot probably at some point, but like, and I guess we just keep going with that. I guess I'm just curious what are they going to do with D'Lo Brown? I don't know. Obviously, I think him and Siaki need to have a match too, but
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking that main feud is going to be with D'Lo and Sonny. Just seems like the most a logical step here. When do you think we're going to get Raven's title shot?
well, do you think that D'Lo will get it before Raven?
Yes.
Well, if that's the case, I think we could probably hold off on Ravens for. I think D'Lo's needs to come sooner rather than later, kind of to get it over with. To be honest with you, even if it's, I wouldn't be opposed if D'Lo got it next week and Siaki kind of screws him, and that leads to the him and Siaki stuff to kind of further that. I think that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Or even in 2 weeks, whatever. But I think in general, I feel like if Raven's gonna obviously he's the number one contender. I feel like it's got to be. We can't go more than 3 weeks. I don't think we can, because then what do you do with Raven while you're waiting?
Yeah, I mean, you probably would just be filling time at that point. The only reason why I think that D'Lo is going to get it before Raven is because he's very insistent that that's why he's here.
Well, yeah, and I think he kind of should. Technically, if you look at it this way, he was promised a title match before Raven became the number one contender, essentially.
Right.
Although if you're the number one contender, you think that you would be getting it before anyone else, but we know that that's always the case, especially here in NWA TNA.
Do you think so Ron Killing's essentially, I guess he turned heel.
He's seeming like he's going to be joining the next generation.
Okay, so do you think he'll get a title shot with Jarrett?
If that's the case, then so is Eric Watts.
Well, I think Eric Watts would be, yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of getting messy here in the main event scene. You know, it's who besides we know Raven's a clear number one contender. We know D'Lo's getting it, but then kind of what else? Obviously, like you just said, truth turned, and with Eric Watts, he's been kind of fighting Jarrett for a couple weeks now. It's like, what are we doing? It's nice though, because It seems like Jarrett's finally having more challengers, but it's all happening at once, so it's getting a little messy.
Yeah, I feel like you could probably space it out. You know, instead of having him feud with 4 or 5 guys, you could probably have it be like 2 guys and then continue on from there.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about that, to be honest. But I don't know, it gives us stuff to look forward to, and at least be like, okay, well, what's going to happen next between these guys?
Yeah. Now for next week, we know about Konnan and Jerry Lynn, as you mentioned.
Yep, and we know that there's an 8-man tag where we're going to have a new member with the Disciples of the New Church, and they're facing the Harris Brothers and Triple X in a big 8-man or a sadistic madness 8-man tag team match.
Which I would probably imagine is just a street fight.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
So
I don't know why.
What they would do.
I didn't really think about that, but I thought they were just giving it a name. But that's a good point, actually. So I bet it is a street fight.
Yeah. But aside from that, we don't know anything else for what they've advertised. I'm sure that between now and next week, we'll look on the Wayback Machine and see if if they decide to tell us anything else for next week's episode. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Sadistic Madness is all about, who the new member of the new church could be, what is going to happen with Jeff Jarrett, Eric Watts, D'Lo Brown, Raven, AJ Styles. Whole lot of questions and no answers quite yet. But Dallas, do you have anything else for this week's episode?
I don't think I do. I think we covered a lot there, so I think it's time to take us home.
All right, then. For Dallas Gridley, I am Bob Colling Jr., and this has been the TNA Cross the Line podcast.